Welcome to my search engine marketing tutorial, which is also referred to as SEM or search engine advertising. So search engine marketing is different from search engine optimization because what it is advertisers actually running their ads in the search results. So throughout this video, I'm going to be going over what search engine marketing is, how to create search engine marketing campaigns through Google Ads, how to create search engine marketing campaigns through Bing Ads, aka Microsoft Ads. Basically, I'm going to be showing you how to set up search advertising campaigns so that you can drive traffic back to your website and drive more conversions for your business. Now, to finish off the video, I'm going to be going over some of the different search engine marketing ads and platforms that you can use. And then last but not least, I'll be going over some different basics of search engine marketing, just overall best practices and things that you should know before you run your search engine marketing campaigns. So you can look at some of the different timestamps and jump to a specific section of the video, or you can watch this all the way through. So let's get started by going over what is search engine marketing. Today I'll be going over search engine marketing. So I'm going to be going over what search engine marketing ads are, examples of some different search engine marketing ads, the difference between search engine marketing and search engine optimization, and I'll also be going over some different places where you can run your search engine marketing ads to basically reach the entire internet who is searching for things. So let's start by going over basically a definition of what is search engine marketing. So it's the process of advertising your website in the search results. So with search engine marketing, you have advertisements in search engines, whereas search engine optimization, your website appears in search engine results pages because you optimized your website, your content to rank high for specific keywords. So when we look at search engine marketing ad platforms, the two major ad platforms are Google Ads and Microsoft Advertising. Now, those aren't really the only two ad platforms, but they basically account for most of the search engine market share on the entire internet. Some examples of ads include Google Search Ads, Shopping Ads, Microsoft Search Ads, Microsoft Product Ads, Amazon Sponsored Ads, and Pinterest Ads. So Amazon is also a search engine, Pinterest is also a search engine. One thing to keep in mind is there are basically search engine marketing ads on YouTube as well. Those are all managed directly through Google's search advertising campaigns for the most part. So if we come over here and we look at a few more examples, let's start in Google. So with Google, if we search swimming pool basketball hoop, you're going to get a ton of different shopping ads up here at the top. So basically anything where there are products for sale, you are going to see shopping ads at the very top of the page or on the right-hand side of the page, depending on what your actual search engine results page looks like. As we scroll down, we have two more search engine marketing ads here, this one by donerightproducts.com and this one by Amazon. Now, as we scroll down here, these are just basically products for sale. These are not search engine marketing ads. These aren't sponsored. You'll see no sponsored label above them. And if we keep scrolling down, this is search engine optimization. So obviously, Amazon, Walmart rank really high in the search results, Home Depot, the Spruce. So this would be a very tough area to actually rank on the first page for this specific search term. Target, very well fit. So this is the first one that we're seeing that isn't basically a massive corporation, but based on their authority score here, it looks like they are still a pretty popular website, if that is accurate up there. So a 75 authority score. So all of these are search engine marketing. And then as you continue to scroll down, now we have another sponsored, so a search engine marketing ad. Now, search engine marketing is also referred to as SEM. So search engine marketing SEM, same exact thing. Let's look real quick at Microsoft Bing, another fun outdoor product, the in-ground trampoline. So pretty expensive to install an in-ground trampoline. You're going to need thousands of dollars to do it. And I don't think it's very easy to install either. So in-ground trampoline here, you could see ad. This is a Microsoft search ad. These are Microsoft product ads, very similar to Google. You can basically import your campaigns from Microsoft into Google. But you'll see these are all different advertisements. And right here is the very first organic search listing. So you'll see web right here, whereas these other ones have a very small little ad label. So it's hard to kind of tell the difference between both, which leads to a lot of clicks on advertisements in the search results. So see down here, these are all examples of search engine optimization. Even the videos here, search engine optimization. So just going over some of the different search engine marketing ads that you can run and some of the areas you can run them. Now back to search engine market share real quick. If we're just looking at the major search engines, so this doesn't count YouTube, this doesn't count Amazon, doesn't count Pinterest. It's basically search engines for the web. So Google, Bing, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo are the top search engines in the United States. Yandex is based in Russia and Baidu is based in China. So you're probably not going to be running too many ads on Yandex or Baidu for the most part. Now Google has the massive market share. Bing has a much smaller market share, although if you do run Bing ads, you'd be surprised at how much there is actually in terms of search volume. But between Bing also, their ads through the Microsoft advertising platform are run on Yahoo and on DuckDuckGo. So Bing has Yahoo and DuckDuckGo, I believe AOL and maybe a few other search engines as well. Maybe Ask.com. I'm not sure if Google still has them. But more importantly, if you are running search engine marketing ads, Google and Microsoft advertising are basically the major SEM ad platforms, and they are going to account for pretty much all of the search volume on major website search engines. Now, quickly going over the SEM process. First is set your objective. So sales leads, that's generally the objective that you want to use, but branding and awareness can also be used as well. Now, you don't see that as often with search engine marketing ads because the whole point is to reach people as they're actively searching for something so that you can actually drive somebody to become a new customer for your business. Choose your channel. Basically, Google Ads is where I would always start when it comes to search engine marketing. Set your budget, so just set whatever your monthly budget is and bring it down to whatever that is per day. So you want to set that daily budget. It's very easy to control your budget with search engine marketing ads. You can pause at any time, you can increase budgets, you can decrease budgets. So depending on the results you're seeing, you have a lot of options when it comes to budgeting. So create your landing pages. So you're going to have to create advertisements and send traffic to your landing pages. So you got to make them first if you don't have them already. A lot of people use landing pages on their website, but you should create custom landing pages as well and focus on your conversion rate. Set up conversion tracking as well. So making sure you understand when you are running your budget, what you're actually getting out of that advertising budget. So if you're driving sales on your website, every single sale should be set up as a conversion so you know how many sales you've driven and how much revenue you've driven from those sales. Target keywords. You want to target relevant keywords for your business. I'll go over a little bit more detail about targeting keywords. Create your advertisements. So after you target keywords, you want to create advertisements that are very relevant to your keywords. And then you're ready to launch your campaign and test. Now, there are other steps involved in an SEM process. This is a basic overview of search engine marketing. What you want to do, last but not least, after you launch your campaign is optimize and maximize return on ad spend. When I put test here, that means testing the keywords you're targeting, adding new advertisements, testing different landing pages. So those are some of the different things you can test, as well as your overall objective and the channels you're actually using. So this is a basic SEM process you can follow. Now let's come back over here real quick and go over a couple more examples of search engine marketing ads, getting away from the Google and the Bing, going to Amazon.com. If I search for a soccer net and we scroll down here, the top 4 results are all sponsored. They're also all very relevant advertisements. So Amazon has a great advertising program as well, and you'll find that a lot of these sponsored results get the most purchases, and a lot of them have a ton of reviews. So it's not cheap to run ads, especially for lower price products. And it can be difficult to actually have a positive return on ad spend depending on what your margins are. So don't just think, okay, I'm going to develop products and sell them on Amazon. You basically need to make sure that your cost per good sold is as low as humanly possible so you can actually return a profit. Now, last but not least, I'm going to go over Pinterest ads real quick. I look up toy storage, scroll down, and we have over here, promoted by Wayfair, Martha Stewart Kids Living and Learning Storage Bench with Shelves Solid. So we keep scrolling down. Storage box, desktop shelf drawer type multi-layer office storage box. So more of an office storage, but still storage nonetheless. And here's another one by IKEA. So little storage cubbies here. So these could also be used for toy storage. So you'll see even over here, promoted by Amazon, same thing, 2-shelf storage cabinet, kids bookshelf. So if we come back over here, what I want to go over real quick before we finish off this video is just the basic looking at the process of search engine marketing if you are running a Google Ads campaign. So assuming you have your conversion tracking set up, we'll come back over here to all my campaigns, and we'll click on, this is a search campaign. So when you go into a search campaign, it's going to pull up all of your ad groups. Your ad groups are used to organize your advertisements based on where you want to send traffic to, based on what you're actually targeting. So if I have an ad group for shark bedding, for example, now this is for beachfrontdecor.com. I have 4 different keywords that I'm targeting in here: shark bedding, shark comforters, shark duvet covers, and shark quilts. And the ads that I'm running for these keywords, when somebody types in these keywords, now I have these paused now, but shark bedding, shark duvet covers, these are responsive search ads. So with responsive search ads, you could actually create up to 15 headlines and 4 description lines, and Google is going to create different ad variations until they find the most optimal ad variations for the keywords you're targeting. If we come over here to Google, we search for shark bedding, you'll see at the very top we have shopping ads. Now, shopping ads are targeted much differently, a little bit more advanced than search ads, where you have to actually create a product feed and upload it to the Google Merchant Center, and then use that product feed to actually target your advertisements for your shopping ads here. So it's not just something where you upload an image and whatever it is that's here. It's like you need to make sure that you have your shopping feed up to date, inventory stocked, everything like that. Now, if we come down here a little bit, some sponsored results, Pottery Barn Kids and Wayfair. So these are also examples of search engine marketing ads. Let's just look at Wayfair. If we click on Shark Betting real quick, sorry for costing you some money, Wayfair, but you'll see some really relevant results here. A great landing page for shark betting, exactly what people are looking for. Hopefully people come in and buy something. That's the ultimate goal of what Wayfair is trying to do. So I have a page on my website for shark betting. You can see a bunch of different shark betting sets for sale. So hopefully people come in here, click on learn more, and that will bring them directly to my Amazon affiliate product. And this page is all geared towards shark betting. So finishing off our video, what is search engine marketing? It's the process of advertising your website in search results. It's for paying for paid listings in search engine results. It's also called search engine marketing. Basically, Google Ads and Microsoft Advertising, formerly Bing Ads, are the main channels for search engine marketing. So if you want to get started, those are the two to get started with. I will have a tutorial released for search engine marketing, hopefully in the next week or two, going over how to create Google Ads and Microsoft Advertising campaigns. The next portion of my video, I'll be setting up a Google Ads search campaign. So I'm just going to be giving you a strategy and an overview for how to set up search advertising campaigns that drive you conversions from Google Ads. So let's get into it. Today, I will be creating a Google Ads search campaign using the new Google Ads interface. So I'll be giving you a step-by-step tutorial for how to do that. I'm going to show you some basic information related to conversion tracking using your Google Analytics 4 account. So I'll be showing you how to track a specific page on your website as a conversion. In my case, my conversion event is affiliate clicks. So the goal for me is to actually get people to come to my website and click off to some of these products. And when they click on this and get sent out to one of my affiliates, that counts as a conversion. So that is what I will be tracking today within my campaign. Now, if you have a Shopify website, all you really need to switch is the way that you are tracking conversions within Google Ads. If you don't know how to install Google Analytics 4 or you don't have it installed on your website yet, what you can do is follow along with some of my tutorials that I've already published to YouTube, and I will link these in the video description. I show how to install Google Analytics 4 with Google Tag Manager, how to install it on WordPress, how to do it manually, how to install Tag Manager, Analytics 4, and Search Console, and then how to install it on Shopify as well. So I will be going over all of this information and improving my overall Shopify tutorials as well. So if you're working with a Shopify website, you can still follow along with this tutorial. The main difference will be the conversions that you actually add within your Google Ads account. Now, I will be adding some more tutorials on my channel related to Shopify, so be on the lookout for those because I'm going to be doing a lot of new Google Ads content now that there is a new interface to work with. So one thing I want to go over before we get started with the campaign creation is the website I'm working with today is brickpop.com. So within the Surfside VIP member section, I am going to be releasing a lot of information related to growing your website, growing an affiliate website. So I'll be growing brickpop.com. I'll be growing surfsideppc.com. So if you have a website where you're trying to drive more leads for your business, I'm going to show you how to do that as well. I'm going to be growing the YouTube channel as well. So my goal is to basically get these websites and this YouTube channel as many views as humanly possible. Now, once you sign up for Surfside VIP, it's a $2.99 per month membership fee. You get access to all of my premium content. I'm going to be writing a brand new book that will only be available in the member section and releasing a long course related to growing your website only in the member section. So if you're interested in this, you can join by going to surfsideppc.com/membership. And from there, that will allow you to actually join directly from my YouTube channel, and you will get access to all of my premium videos. Now, let's get back into Google Ads here. And where we want to start is first and foremost with conversion tracking. So I already have the conversion added to my Google Analytics account. So within Google Analytics 4, if you go to the admin section, the very bottom left, one of the things you're going to see here is conversions. So my conversion right here, and you can see it is already tracking properly, is affiliate clicks. I have 61 total conversions for the month. Still growing this website, not getting much traffic yet, but we should see a lot of growth within the next few months. So what we want to do is we want to add some new conversion events. What you're going to see right here is new event name. So if we come back over here and we go to events, so we're still in the admin screen, right above conversions is events. So you can actually set any of these as different events as well. So if you're trying to track, for example, a form submission, you can track that as well. So if there's anything that you are trying to track here, any existing events, you can just mark them as a conversion. And once you can do that, you can actually import that conversion into Google Ads once you link your Google Analytics 4 and Google Ads account. Now let's keep it really simple here, and we're going to create a new event. And what we want to do is first, so we'll click over here on the blue create button, and what we want to do first is name our event. So we're going to click here, and if we scroll down, you can see there's a lot of different events that you can add. So if you want to do an add to cart, you can use that as an event as well. Begin checkout, checkout progress. There's a lot of different things that you can track. In this case, let's just keep it simple. We're going to do generate lead, and then what we're going to do is not event name. So there's a lot of different parameters you can choose from. But in this case, we are going to do a specific page on our website that we want to track. So it's going to be page location, and basically what they're looking for is a URL. The input must start with either HTTP or HTTPS. Now what I'm going to do is contains. Now there's different page locations you might send people to after they actually become a lead on your website. You can also track these using form submissions, so that's another way to track conversions. I will include a lot of conversion tracking tutorials directly in the video description because there's a lot of different ways to track conversions, and I have a 2-hour video on my channel for different ways to track different types of conversions for your business. This, we are going to do page location contains, and here would be the value of the page that people get sent to after they actually become a lead or a sale. So for example, if you are selling something on your website and after somebody finishes purchasing, they go to an order confirmation page. So let's just use that as our example. People will only hit this website after they actually purchase something from your website. So let's just say you're selling a course, maybe you're selling whatever it is that you're selling. So people hit this order confirmation page at the very end of it. This would count as a conversion. Now, another popular one that people do is just a standard thank you page. So basically, thank you for signing up to our newsletter. Thank you for signing up to whatever it may be. And that will be a new way that you could also track this as well. Now, let's just pretend this is order confirmation. So we'll come over here, we'll do order confirmation. So as long as the page location contains that, then this will count as a conversion every time someone hits that page. So our custom event name, we have to remember this, generate lead. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on create. Okay, so now we have generate lead when the page location contains order confirmation. So now that we have that new event, we're going to copy this custom event name right here. So we can copy it right here again. Click on the X, and what we're going to do is we're going to come down to conversions. Now you're going to see mark your event as a conversion. So you're going to see click conversion. So they'll actually walk us through this step by step. Now click new conversion event. This is pretty cool actually. And then what we want to do is name your event. So our event name is generate lead. So they stopped giving us prompts here, but we want to put generate lead in here, and we want to click on save. Okay, so we're going to click on the X here because that stopped working for us. Now generate lead is counted, marked as a conversion. So even if we don't have any events yet, what we're saying, and it's not going to show up here till we start getting some events here, but what it's going to say here in conversions is we're going to see generate lead, and every time somebody hits that page, it will count as a new lead. So now what we need to do is come back over here to our Google Analytics 4 account. Now, one thing to keep in mind is my Google Ads account and my Google Analytics 4 account are both under the same exact Google account. So if I come over here to product links and we click on Google Ads links here, what you're going to see is no links yet. Click link to create one. So we're going to click on link here, and you're going to see link to Google accounts that I manage. Choose Google Ads account, and now you'll see it's going to pull up this Google Ads account. You'll see the account ID right here. So let's come back over to our Google Ads account. And if we come over here, just click on your profile picture up at the top right corner, 688-892-6244. Coming over to Google Analytics, so that is the same exact account name. So select this here. So selected one, you can have up to 20 different accounts linked. So we can click on confirm. Now we can click on next. Configure settings, what we can do is enable personalized advertising, yes. Enable auto tagging. So you do want to enable auto tagging. That allows us to actually track. So it's going to add a unique ID to the end of our destination URL. That allows analytics to track the details of each click. So basically it's called auto tagging. Auto tagging will be enabled on our Google Ads account, directly linked to the manager account as well. Allow access to analytics features from within Google Ads, yes. So this is exactly how I would set it up, and click on next. And then what we want to do is review and submit. So just double check, make sure we have everything set here correctly, and click on submit. Okay, it's going to say it may take up to 24 hours for your Google Ads link to begin displaying data. It probably shouldn't, but sometimes it'll take a little bit longer with Google Analytics 4. The other thing we can do is create a remarketing audience. Now, this video is really going to be more geared towards beginners, so I will have follow-up videos to go over remarketing audiences, and it's definitely something I will cover within my Google Ads course if you are looking to really expand your Google Ads information, or Google Ads knowledge, really. So we'll click on the X here, and what we're going to do is we're going to come back over here to Google Ads. Okay, now that we're over here, now it's always weird working with a new interface, so I'm getting used to this as well. But if we click on the admin section, what you're going to see is linked accounts. So let's come in here to our linked accounts, and what you're going to see is your linked accounts and products. So right now we have Google Analytics 4 linked here, so if we click on manage and link, okay, so we scroll down here, what you're going to see is we have our property linked, so this is the one that we just linked. Now, one of the things you're going to see is linked app and web metrics deactivated. So we want to activate app and web metrics. So click on activate here. So now we have this linked app and web metrics are activated. So generally I just refresh the page just to make sure that we have everything set up properly. And now what we want to do is we want to import our conversions. So coming back over here to our Google Analytics 4 account, we want to import our conversions into our Google Ads account. So we have two conversions here. So when we actually go into our Google Ads account, they should come up when we go to our conversions page. Now, conversions are going to be under goals. You're going to see conversions and measurement. So let's come over here to conversions. And what we want to do is we want to click on summary. So when we come into summary, you're going to see set up conversion tracking. We're going to do a new conversion action. Now, Google Ads has actually made it much easier to set up your conversion tracking when you do get started in here. So if you do come into new conversion action without doing anything else and you go to website, one of the things you can do is scan your website domain. So enter the URL for the website where you want to measure your conversions, and Google Ads will actually give you some tips for measuring conversions based on your website. So let's enter our website here, and we'll click on scan. Okay, so we scroll down here and it's going to say create conversions actions manually to access custom features. Your linked Google Analytics 4 account already has 3 events. You can import all events from your analytics account or import individual events below. So we can import all of these right now, but for right now, what I'm going to do is these 2 ones that are other. So affiliate clicks is really going to be my main one, but you can see how easy it is to import generate lead as well. So we'll import both of these. So first we'll start with our affiliate clicks. So conversion action added. Complete this flow to save your new conversion actions. So we'll import this one as well. So really that simple. And the next thing you want to do is click on settings. So within settings, we have goal and action optimization. Now my action optimization here is an outbound click. And what we want to do is add this to our account default goals to be a primary action used for bidding optimization. So secondary actions not used for bidding optimizations may be just some key pages on your website that you don't really want to optimize for. Basically, these are your primary actions should be your key performance indicators. So you may say a secondary action is something like an add to cart, because what you really want to do is use a primary action like sales, or even an extra step throughout the checkout process after somebody adds something to a cart. So that is basically the difference between a primary and a secondary action. Now our conversion name here, I'm just going to leave it exactly as is. So Brickpop Web Affiliate Clicks. Use the same value from your Google Analytics 4 property. Now, if I say, okay, every time somebody completes this conversion, it drives me through $30. Now, it doesn't, but let's just say, for example, it does. You can use the same value for each conversion, and this is definitely more popular if you are selling a course with a fixed price, or you have leads where you have data where you say, okay, every single lead that I drive is worth this amount to my business. What I'm going to do is just use the value from the Google Analytics 4 property, which will basically count 1 conversion every time there's a new conversion. It's going to say $1, but basically it counts it the same way it would count a lead. Now count every conversions to count per click or interaction. In this case, I'd rather use 1, because let's just say, for example, somebody comes to my website and they click on this one, they click on this one, they click on this one. Really, it's the same person that's continuously going to Amazon, so I'd rather count them 1 time than count every single unique conversion if somebody's clicking on a bunch of affiliate links. So let's come back over here to our Google Ads account. You want to do every for purchases, 1 for leads, signups, and other conversions, where basically you don't want to count the same person filling out your lead form as 2 different conversions, because it would be the same conversion. Engaged view conversion window. Select how long to track conversions after a video engagement. So this is just 3 days. That's going to stay right here. And then attribution is going to be data driven. So we're not going to change the attribution model. You can use a last click. So this gives all the credit to the last clicked advertisement. The data driven uses basically your entire account's conversion data, the entire conversion path, to give credit different places along the path. So if somebody converts on the final click, but they clicked on 2 ads beforehand, then you have an idea of, okay, this person clicked on 3 ads before they converted, and it gives you more information for the conversion path somebody's actually taking. So let's come over here and click on done, and now we have this conversion all set up. Outbound click, we're not going to, or the other one here, the generate lead, we're not going to do anything with. Outbound click is going to be the main conversion goal that we are optimizing for. So let's scroll down here. Now you can create conversion actions manually. That's not something that we're doing, and we want to turn on enhanced conversion. Uses the information customers provide on their website, which can help improve measurement and optimize your campaign. So we're going to turn this on, and we're going to click on agree and continue. Now, I'm not actually collecting much information on my website, but that's fine. We'll just still use enhanced conversions. So we created 2 conversion actions. We're all done. Now we're ready to create a campaign that actually optimizes for our conversion action. So we can go through this little process here if we want. Easily manage conversion actions with goals. Apply account default goals to get the most out of your budget. Track conversions for optimization or optimization. Return to the table view anytime. So we'll click on done. Very useful, I guess. Okay, so let's come back over here to campaigns, or we could just go to right here to create, and we're going to create a campaign. Now they also have conversion action here in create, so that's actually a new thing that I like. Okay, so what's your campaign objective? Now I consider this objective a lead because it's different than a sale. Even though it's technically driving a sale to Amazon, I would recommend using sales when you actually have a specific revenue attached to whatever action somebody's taking. In my case, I'm counting every single outbound click as 1, so we're going to count this as a lead. So we're going to click on lead here. So conversion goals, group your existing. We're not going to do this. Yeah, we'll leave the guide. So what we're going to do is this one here, we're going to remove our other goal, and we're just going to use our outbound clicks goal. So this will be the one thing that we're optimizing for. Now it's saying it's inactive because we haven't driven any yet, but once we start driving them, it'll start counting these as a conversion. As long as you're seeing conversions in Google Analytics and this is tracking properly, you shouldn't have any issues with how it's tracking within your Google Ads account. So we're going to click on continue, and we're going to keep going on with our campaign. Now I'm going to create tutorials for each of these campaign types, and that will basically be what I put into a course. So I'm going to combine all of these tutorials into one course. So let's come over here to my search campaign. I do want to do more around Shopify for the course, so we'll definitely have a shopping campaign in there, and we'll be using Performance Max with a shopping campaign. I may just recreate the search campaign for my Shopify website as well. Now let's keep scrolling down here. How we'd like to reach our goals, website visits. So we can enter our website here, brickpop.com, and scrolling down to our campaign name, let's just say Brickpop Search Campaign, and we'll just keep it like that. So we'll click on continue. Okay, so what do you want to focus on? We'll just go through this ourselves. What do we want to focus on? Conversions. Now, the overall setup here isn't too much different in the new interface, so you're not seeing a major difference, but I'd rather create tutorials with the new interface than the old interface. We want to focus on conversions. We can set a target cost per action. So basically what that means is, let's say every conversion for our business is worth $30 like we mentioned before. Then what we can do is set a target cost per action and say, you know what, I want to drive leads at $15 each. So that means that every time we're driving a lead, it's going to cost us $15 or less with our Google Ads campaign. Now, it's not always going to work out exactly like that for the campaigns that you're running, and it definitely is easier to set a target cost per action when every single action is worth more for your business. In my case, I'm just going to I want to focus on conversions, and I'm not going to set a target cost per action. I'll go over some alternative bid strategies after the campaign. There's different strategies you can use on Google Ads depending on what client you're working with, what website you're working with, what your overall goals are, and really what your overall budget is as well. So for large budget clients, it's much different than for somebody who does not have a large budget. So I will give you some different ideas for basically if you have a huge budget or a small budget. So we want to focus on conversions. This is going to be our bidding strategy. It's going to do the maximize conversions bidding strategy. With this, it would be the target CPA bidding strategy. So I'll go over bidding strategies more in the end of this video. Let's click on next here. Now, campaign settings, I always recommend just running these on the search network and including Google Search Partners. You can try to include the Google Display Network. I generally prefer to run Google Display Network campaigns completely separate from search network campaigns. If somebody can show me otherwise where there's data that says opting into the Google Display Network is a good idea, then that's something that we could always try in the future. But let's just stick with what I generally do, and that's going with the search network campaign. The main thing with display expansion, it's going to say show your ads in more places and get more conversions at a similar cost per action. If you have a larger budget, this is something you can test for sure. But let's just pretend we have a small budget, which we do. We're going to use the search network campaign here. So we're going to scroll down. Now keep in mind, I'm not really intending to run ads for this website. The margins are so small for affiliate products as in terms of toys and things like that. There's some affiliate products that you can run ads with, generally things with recurring revenue or with very high average order values. These are not. I mean, if somebody comes in here and purchases this toy here for $13, my commission is basically nothing on that. So I have to drive clicks and conversions for it to make sense for me to actually run Google Ads campaigns. So next is going to be location targeting. So very quickly, if you go to location options, I always recommend using presence. People in or regularly in your targeted locations. Now, if you sell all over the world and you're doing all countries and territories, then just keep presence or interest. For more limited scope types of advertising campaigns, let's just say even it's the United States, I'd rather target people that are actively in my targeted location. So presence or interest only really makes sense to me if you have a really large location that you're targeting. So if we do enter another location, you can actually search locations here, but I like to go into the advanced search and we can enter any location that we want. So let's just say Dallas. If you search Dallas, you're going to see a bunch of different options. Dallas, Texas, the city, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, the DMA region. So you see it's a larger reach when you're doing the actual market of Dallas compared to the city of Dallas, which is going to be basically this small area around Dallas. So we'll click on X here. Again, we'll just use our Dallas example for right now. So they have Dallas County, they have Dallas County, Alabama, Dallas County, other ones, Dallas, Georgia, things I didn't even know existed. And then what you'll also see is locations that include Dallas would be Dallas County, Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, Texas, the entire state, and United States, the entire country. Now, I'm just going to target United States, but I just want to go over some of the different options for locations. There's more you can do with location targeting, and I will be updating my location targeting video this year as well. So we'll go through those in more detail in that video. But basically with that, you can target most locations just by seeing what I just did. So we're going to keep scrolling down here. Next is going to be language targeting. So select the languages that your customers speak. If you're targeting multiple languages, you can add multiple languages here. You can run campaigns based around multiple languages. So it depends on the overall strategy that you're using. I'm just going to stick with English for the language that my customers speak. So let's keep scrolling down. Audience segments. So you can add audience segments to your campaign. And one of the things that you may want to do is add an audience segment such as a customer list to either exclude them from your campaign, or you can use customer lists to build audiences as well. You can also bid higher for people that are on customer lists, but it really depends on what your overall goals are. Now, if we come over here to browse, you're going to see some of the built-in audiences directly through Google Ads, and then how they have interacted with your business is going to be your data segments. So I can do all users of brickpop.com. I can do purchasers of brickpop.com here. So we can do this and just add this to our campaign and do absolutely nothing and just observe how all users of brickpop.com actually perform within this campaign. Now, I don't get enough traffic. This is saying 0, so I haven't built this audience yet. So it's probably not building at all, but once you get more traffic, it's definitely easier to run remarketing campaigns. We're going to come back over here. So a few different things, who they are, detailed demographics. So if you want to say, okay, we're targeting homeowners, you can add those to your campaign as well. So different options for audience segments. And basically with audience segments, you can observe how they are performing within your campaign, specific audience segments. So if you're trying to target parents, for example, for BrickPop, I could say, okay, parents of infants, toddlers, preschoolers. It makes sense for me to target these 3 different detailed demographics because those are going to be people that are most likely buying for my website. Now, if we come up here and we do a few more things, education, home ownership status, employment, marital status, affinity audience are going to be much more broad. So these are very, very broad audiences. I generally don't use these for search campaigns too often. Combined segments I will use every now and then in-market segments you can also target as well. People who are actively researching or planning something related to whatever it is that you are promoting. So let's come over here to search, and one thing I could do is, let's say I'm targeting toys. So if we come over to toys and we do what they are actively researching or planning, you're going to see in-market for toys. Now, some of the other in-market audiences, infant and toddler feeding would work, baby and children's products will work, potentially board games. People who are in market for baby and toddler apparel are probably looking for toys as well, because if you have a baby, you're looking for toys, apparel, pretty much everything all the time. Now, there's also things, water activities, equipment, and accessories, probably not what I want to target here. But if you scroll over in any in-market segment, what you're going to see is people interested in purchasing whatever it is that this in-market segment is. So in this case, equipment or accessories for swimming or other aquatic sports. So we'll do in-market for toys, we'll do babies and children's products, we'll do all users, and we'll just keep those three for right now. So we're observing those three audiences right now. Now, you could do targeting, but basically this narrows the reach of your campaign only to these selected segments. So you definitely want to select more segments if you're narrowing your reach at all, but I'd really recommend it to use observation over targeting, because then you don't narrow the reach of your campaign and you can adjust the bids on your selected segments. So that's what we want to do, is observation. Now, broad match keywords. So Google Ads has actually improved broad match keywords. Basically, they got rid of what were called modified broad match keywords. There are 3 different keyword match types: phrase match keywords, broad match keywords, and exact match keywords. For large budget campaigns and campaigns where you want to test, you want to optimize, you should just turn this on. Use broad match keywords for your entire campaign. There will be more of a testing period. So over the first month or 2, you may end up noticing more irrelevant search terms in your search terms report. You may notice that there are certain things your ads are being triggered for where it's not as targeted as it would be with phrase match and exact match keywords. So definitely use this for if you have a larger budget, if you want to do a little bit more testing. If you're saying, okay, I would rather just use some of the keyword match types, you can still use only broad match keywords even if you turn this off. So a lot of times I'll turn this off anyway, just because there's times where you may want to test an exact match keyword somewhere or a phrase match keyword somewhere where you want to keep things a little bit more targeted. So that's why I turn this off generally. But I have moved more towards using broad match keywords. It really depends on what account you're working on. So we're going to keep this off for now and come over to more settings. Ad rotation, we want to prefer the best performing ads. You can set start and end dates for your campaign. So if you want to schedule this campaign for a later date, you can. Come over here to more settings, ad schedule. So if you only want ads to run Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, then you can do that as well. Brand restrictions you can add. I'm not going to go over that in this video. I will create a separate video about brand restrictions and campaign URL options. I don't generally use this too often, so not going to go over it in this video. So let's click on next, and now we can get started with building our ad groups. So it's going to start with, so a new keyword experience. Your keyword suggestions. These keywords were generated based on your website's content. Edit or remove keywords to customize your campaign. So you can enter different URLs up here at the top. Basically, they're saying based on a lot of the content that I have on my website, on some of the product categories I have on my website, these are some of the keywords they would recommend targeting. Now, what you don't want to do is create one ad group targeting all of these keywords, because somebody who's searching for Montessori toys for 4-year-olds probably looking for something different than somebody who is looking for best toys 2023. So just keep that in mind as you're targeting keywords. Now, generally what I will do, and this is usually the way that I try to structure my campaigns, is when I'm creating ad groups. So we'll start with our first ad group. One of the easiest way to organize your ad groups is by coming into your website, understanding exactly where you want to send traffic to. So if I start with Montessori bath toys, and I take this page right here, so we'll open up this page. Okay, so we have Montessori bath toys here at the top. Now, I'm all about trying to drive relevance within my Google Ads campaign. So I want my advertisements, I want my keywords, I want my landing pages to all line up as much as I possibly can. So with my ad group here, we're going to name our ad group, and we are going to do Montessori bath toys. Okay, so this will be our first ad group, and we could do get keyword suggestions. And what you could do is actually take your URL here. So we'll copy our URL, come back over to Google Ads, enter our URL here. You could also enter the keywords here and just do Montessori bath toys and update our keyword suggestions. So yes, replace the current keywords. Okay, so now these are the keywords that they recommended: Montessori bath toys, Montessori, Montessori bath time, and best Montessori bath toys. Truthfully, if we just target this as a broad match keyword, it will match all of these searches as well. So you don't really need to add each of these individual keywords. If you just want to add this keyword here, Montessori bath toys is the same exact keyword as bath toys Montessori. Even if you're using phrase match keywords, it should still probably match all of these different search terms here as well. So depending on the types of keyword match type that you want to use. So for this campaign, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to start with broad match keywords, because I want to use that as an example showing these search terms report. So we'll do that in a follow-up video and then go over some different ways to optimize in a follow-up video as well. So for enter keywords here, Montessori bath toys, we're just going to do the broad match keyword, and we're going to scroll down, do one keyword in this ad group. Now, I'm not someone who says you need to use single keyword ad groups. You can add more keywords to an ad group, especially if it makes sense to add multiple keywords depending on what your landing page actually is. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Some people are only believe in single keyword ad groups, but most people basically will say, you know, we can add 5, 6, 10 keywords in a single ad group if there are enough relevant keyword phrases that wouldn't actually match well enough with this broad match keyword. Okay, so from there, we now have our ad group, Montessori bath toys, the keyword we're targeting, Montessori bath toys. You could leave the other keywords in there if you want, but we're just going to leave that one right there. If you want to grow your website organically and watch me grow a new website in the process and learn how to create a successful YouTube channel, join Surfside VIP. It is my members only section where I'll be going over SEO, affiliate marketing, keyword research, and more. If you join, you will get access to all of my premium videos and all of my website courses. So join Surfside VIP by going to any of my videos and clicking on the join button at the bottom, or by going directly to surfsideppc.com/membership, which will bring you directly into the membership program. It costs $2.99 a month. It is less than $36 a year, and you will get access to all of my ebooks. You will get access to all of my courses. You will get access to everything that I create within the membership section. Okay, let's get back to the video. Scrolling down and our final URL. So this is your landing page. So we want our landing pages, ads, keywords to all match. Let's copy our landing page here. Come back over to our final URL, and we are going to paste, make sure we do this properly, paste that there. So now we have our final URL set. Display path, so brickpop.com/bath toys, basically just making our ad as relevant as possible. Headlines, we can add 15 different headlines. So these are responsive search ads. Google Ads is going to basically create a ton of different ad variations based on all of our headlines and our description lines. And then they'll use our display path as well. And then what we also want to do is create assets for our campaign. So that's another thing that we want to do. And we will go over assets at the very end of this as we're creating advertisements. But now what we need to do is add 15 headlines. Now the key with adding headlines, and what you could do is come over here to more ideas. They'll give us a couple different ideas. So we could do Montessori bath toys. What you can do is say, I want to pin this in position 1. You could also do best Montessori bath toys and pin this in position 1. Basically what that's doing is it's telling Google, we'll click on the X here, it's telling Google, I want that to be the first thing that people see, is one of these 2 different headlines when they search my keyword. So that's one thing that you can do. I generally don't pin too often, but in this case, we'll pin for right now. Sometimes it messes with the ad strength, but we want to make excellent ad strength ads. So let's keep coming down here and adding more headlines. So I generally do the brand name. We can do the Brick Pop Toy Shop. Okay, so we'll do a couple different things like that. Make sure we do Brick Pop. Okay, so now we have 4 headlines. If you come over here to add headlines and do view ideas, so I use this all the time, call to action phrases, order online, shop online now. Could do affordable options. Basically, the best way to create your advertisements is to use a variety of headlines. So you don't just want everything to be a variation on Montessori bath toys or best Montessori bath toys. You basically want to use all sorts of different headlines here. And again, Google Ads will mix and match your headlines. If we come up to the top here, just looking at here, so Montessori bath toys, Brick Pop Toy Shop. We do shop the best bath toys, and we'll keep scrolling down here. So we'll use that one. We'll do shop the best bath toys. We'll do shop Montessori bath toys, educational bath toys. So we'll use a few different ones with bath toys in there, and that should be enough for that for now. And then we'll add all of our headlines. I always use all 15. So we'll add some more here. So we'll just do shop our toy selection. We have educational toys. Your kids will love our toys. Okay, and the last 2, what we'll do is just official website and high quality products. So now I think we have all 15 here. We have 1 left. Okay, we have 1 headline left here. So let's say, now you'll see there's things with inventory, there's things with location, shipping. So let's just say in stock and ready to ship. Okay, so now we have all of our headlines here. Our ad strength is still average. We need to fill out our description lines. So we're going to click on the X here and let's fill out our Description lines, there's 4 description lines here. So for these, I'm going to fill out all 4, and then they will give you some ideas here. And if you come to make descriptions unique and click on view ideas, they'll give you any ideas that are there. Generally, they don't have a ton of ideas, especially if you just created your account. So I will add 4 description lines here. I'm going to fast forward through this part a little bit because writing description lines is a little bit boring. Okay, so we added our 4 description lines here. My ad strength is excellent. So that's what you're looking for, is an excellent ad strength. If we look at our description lines, shop the top-rated Montessori toys for bath time at Brick Pop. Discover the best selection of Montessori bath toys and educational toys that we love. High-quality Montessori toys at the best prices. Shop our bath toys today. Shop exceptional Montessori bath toys at unbeatable prices. Get your toys at Brick Pop. So we have an excellent ad strength. Now, one thing I want to show you is I remove these pins. If we put these pins back, show only in position 1, what generally happens is immediately your ad strength goes to average. So what we can do is just use maybe this 1 Montessori bath toys in position 1, still showing an average ad strength. So you can do this still. It really shouldn't impact your campaign performance. I'm just going to leave this wide open, and Google Ads should return some nice advertisements for us. This is the problem, is you don't want an ad like this, but generally they're not making ads that are like this when somebody's searching for your Montessori bath toys, because they want the ads to also match what people are looking for. So that is really a matter of preference. Maybe we will just pin these because I'd rather have these 2 in position 1 and give Google the ability to put whatever else they want in these other positions here. So we have our final URL, we have our display path. If we keep scrolling down, we have our 15 headlines. Keep scrolling down, we have 4 different description lines, and next is going to be business name and logos. If you don't have a name or a logo, Google will use your URL to add them for you. What you have to do here is click on Get Access, and you have to complete the advertiser verification. So this is something that maybe I'll create a video showing the advertiser verification, going through this process. For right now, I'm not going to go through this, but basically for more features and fewer limits, complete advertiser verification can take up to 20 days to be reviewed. So this is something that we do want to add here, and I will go over a little bit more about this. Now, they are making sure that they verify every advertiser that uses Google Ads, so you need to complete the advertiser verification. Otherwise, they may limit your ability to run ads on Google. So let's come back over here. We will do this in a follow-up video so we can get our advertiser verification actually approved. Next is going to be our site links. Now, this is saying improve your responsive search ads by improving headlines and descriptions. Basically, we're average here because we did the 2 pinned headlines at the very top. So what we want to do next is add some site links. Add 4 or more to maximize performance. You can add site links at the campaign level, and you can add site links to the ad group level. When we're creating our campaign, these are going to be added to the campaign level. So these site links will be used by every single different ad group that we have. And we can also add ad group specific site links depending on what it is that we're promoting. And some of the examples that I've used in the past is, let's just say we are targeting the keyword Montessori toys. What we could do is take some popular categories like Montessori math toys. We could do Montessori play gyms, Montessori puzzles, stacking toys, and basically take some of those popular categories and use those as our site links. In this case, if I'm adding them to the ad group level and my whole entire campaign is going to be more geared towards Montessori toys, then what we could do is we'll start with shop all Montessori toys. So basically give people the option to see all of our categories and subcategories for Montessori toys. You want to add your description lines here and your final URL. So we'll come over here. We will take our category page here, come back over to our campaign, paste this final URL. Let's write a couple description lines here real quick. Okay, so we have shop all Montessori toys, discover all types of educational Montessori toys that we love. Now, the best practice with site links is add a minimum of 4 site links to the campaign level. You should also add site links to the ad group level to basically increase your ad relevancy. If your entire campaign is based around Montessori toys, you could basically just set up 8, 9 different campaign level site links, and Google will show the ones that tend to perform the best. These aren't going to show for every single search, but usually if you have the top position, or depending on where your advertisement is, it'll show site links or other assets. Now, there's other assets. We'll go over those after we create our site links. I'm just basically going to set up site links, callouts, and structured snippets in this video, but I'll go through all the different assets here. So we have our first site link. I'm going to fast forward through this a little bit so I can add the other site links here, and then I'll go over and review what I added. Okay, so we have Montessori math toys. Kids can learn math by using our Montessori math toys. Links out to our final URL for that product category. Montessori stacking toys can help children learn how to build and balance. Links out to the correct URL here as well. And then we have Montessori play gyms. Get kids moving and active with our premium Montessori play gyms. So you'll see our final URL here as well. Remove this at the end. We can add more site links, but creating 4 for now, we can click on create and we will add these to our campaign. So you'll see we can add up to 20 different site links for our campaign. So these are perfect. We're going to click on save. And now we have 4 site links added to our responsive search ads. Next is going to be callouts. So callouts are basically just quick bits of information. So depending on what you're actually promoting, it could be something like start a free trial. It could be things like free shipping, free returns. Basically, too long, but basically you're looking for different ways to highlight some of the different benefits that your business offers. So these are some of your unique selling points or some of the things that may cause people a little bit of hesitation before they go to your website and purchase from you. So you could do something like free 3-day shipping, something like that. So we'll add a few different callouts here. These aren't all necessarily truthful because I am sending people to Amazon affiliate products, although Amazon does offer some pretty good shipping options as well. So we could always say, free shipping over whatever Amazon, over $35 or whatever it is. So we'll add a few more call out texts here. Okay, so we have free 3-day shipping, improved child development, premium Montessori toys, and 30-day return policy. Now, I should get rid of these 2 here. Before I launch this campaign, I will change these call outs. Maybe we'll just do them different here, but you want to use some of the different benefits from your website. So huge selection of toys, all type. Okay, so we have huge selection of toys, improved child development, premium Montessori toys, top rated. Okay, we probably want to switch to this bottom one here. Let's do, okay, we have huge selection of toys, improved child development, premium Montessori toys, shop Brick Pop today. So we have our 4 different call outs here. We're going to click on save and we will apply these to our campaign now. And now there are more asset types. So that's all I'm going to go over for right now. Now promotions, if you're running any limited time promotions, you can see they have occasion here. So you could choose any of these different occasions that they have from the list. And then when you choose an occasion, you could set your language, your currency, the promotion type, so monetary discount, percent discount, up to monetary discount, up to percent discount. So if you do percent discount, you have a 10% off sale, which specific item, and then your final URL, promotion details on orders over a certain amount. And these will all show within your advertisement, however you set them up. So whatever promotion you're running, you could put these within your ads and you can add these to the campaign level. Prices, if you have fixed prices for certain things, you can come over here to prices. You're going to see the type is going to be the main thing you're changing here. So maybe it's going to be services and you enter your different services and how much they actually cost. So if you have fixed prices, you could do something like that. They also have, so over here, a qualifier, you could do from, up to, and average. So you could, even if you don't have fixed prices, if you have a range of prices, you could also use that as well. So calls, you can add a phone number to your ad. I obviously don't want calls for brickpop.com, but what you could do is enter your phone number and then you could actually set a conversion action with call reporting turned on. So if we come down here to advanced options, you can set a specific schedule. So if you're only answering phone calls during certain hours of the day, you don't want phone calls in the middle of the night, making sure that your phone call asset is only, or your call asset is only showing when you actually answer the phone. Now, structured snippets is something I could add for Montessori toys. Maybe we'll just do it quickly, but you'll see a lot of different options here as far as the header type. Amenities, brands, courses, degree programs, so destinations, featured hotels, models, neighborhoods, service catalog, shows, styles, and types. I could use types here and do things like math toys, bath toys, busy boards, and just enter all the different types of, so we'll do stacking toys, and we'll do something like sensory toys. Okay, so we can add those as different types for structured snippets. So you'll see here it's going to say types and then have all of those different types of toys that we have here. I could do Montessori math toys, bath toys, but this is probably a better way to set it up. Now you could also do, if anything applies to your business, you can change the header type. So if you're a hotel, you can list all of your amenities. Maybe you have a lazy river, you have free breakfast, whatever it is. So we'll do types here and we will click on save and we will apply this as well. So now we have our structured snippets, we have our call outs, we have our site links. So let's come down here to lead forms. So lead forms, what you can actually do, you have to view and accept the terms. I'm not going to be actually setting up a lead form right now. So headline, business name, description, and then you set whatever questions you want people to fill out. Now, generally, the more you qualify someone, the better the lead's going to be. So if you're just doing name and email, for example, you're probably not going to get as high quality leads as you would if you do name, email. Maybe you want to do company name. Maybe you want to do something like, you could add your own qualifying questions here, but you could do name, maybe city, just to make sure they are in an area you actually serve. So depending on what types of leads you're trying to drive, you can also add lead forms directly to your campaign as well. If you have a mobile app, you can add a mobile app to your campaign too. So we've added our assets here and gone over some of the other asset types that you can use. So we're going to click on done. And now we have our advertisement created. We're targeting Montessori bath toys. Our ad group is Montessori bath toys. And based on our ad, we just enter this here to get keyword suggestions. This is the final URL where we will be sending our traffic to. So let's scroll down here. We're going to click on next again. Next, we want to set our average daily budget for our campaign. Now, one of the things you're going to see is for the month, you won't pay more than your daily budget times the average number of days in a month. So the average number of days in a month is 30.4. So take your average daily budget. If you say $10, for example, that means that, now this is a really low budget, but that means that over the course of a month, you're going to spend around $304. You won't spend more than $304. If you're not hitting your daily budget every day, you're obviously going to spend less. Now, the way Google Ads works is they're going to spend your budget differently on different days, where one day you may spend $12, the next day you may spend $8. The next day you may spend $15, the next day you may spend $7. But it's always going to even out over the course of a month. So if you stop your ads after a week, you may spend more than $70 in a week if you have a $10 daily budget. Google isn't saying we are going to spend exactly $10 every single day. So just keep that in mind as you set your daily budget. But for this campaign, what I would probably do, obviously we need to add a lot more ad groups. We will do that after we launch our campaign. But what I would probably do is set a daily budget and start around $50. You could always start a little bit lower and then increase as you go. Now, again, this is not actually a campaign that I want to run for this business. So I'm going to set my budget pretty low throughout here, and we're just going to set an average daily budget. We'll just set $5 a day for right now. Saying advertisers commonly use a budget of at least $20. Obviously, $5 is way too low, but this is not a campaign that I really want to run because I'd rather just focus on organic growth for this specific website. So use the daily budget based on how much your monthly budget is. Divide your monthly budget by 30.4, and you have your daily budget. So your campaign is ready to publish. Draw more attention by adding at least 4 site links. We did do that already. Bidding is maximize conversions. Our goal is outbound clicks. An objective of leads. Budget is just saying is too low. Networks, Google Search Network search partners. We have some audience added. Broad match keywords. So you can turn this off if you want. You can still use different keyword match types. If you turn it on, then your campaign will only use broad match keywords. So let's publish this campaign. Okay, so you're going to see your ad groups are under review. As soon as your ads are approved, they'll be eligible to start showing to customers. So we have our campaign created. We have a policy review. It's saying in progress, 1 to 2 days. Generally, for a new account, it's a little bit longer when you're launching a campaign, but they usually approve everything and have everything running pretty quickly. If you want to, while you're working on your campaign, make sure that you're not spending your entire budget on the one ad group that we've created. Now, if we do come into our ad group, so you'll see at the very top, it's view filter. So it's saying all campaign. We're looking at our Brick Pop search campaign that we just created. Our ad group is the Montessori bath toys. And under campaigns here, what you can do is click on ads. So this is going to open up your ads. It's going to say you're viewing data between whatever your data is here. Scroll down, and what you can do, now this ad is still under review, but for right now, we can pause our advertisements as we continue to build out the rest of our campaign. So let's come over here to ad groups, and the next thing that we want to do is start creating more ad groups within our campaign. And let's just say I want to create an ad group for all of these different product categories that I have on my website. So what we could do next is we did bath toys. Let's just go right to busy boards. We'll copy the link address because we're going to be sending our final URL. This will be our landing page for this ad group. So let's come over to Google Ads. Now I'm just going to create one more ad group here because once I create one, you kind of get the idea of, okay, this is the process that we're using. Just continuously create ad groups, target keywords. So let's click on the plus sign. Okay, so setting up our ad group. There's 2 different options, standard and dynamic. I will go over dynamic ad groups as well, so dynamic search ads. We're going to stick to standard for right now, and we will use Montessori busy boards. Okay, so we'll enter our URL here so we can scan for some keywords. Maybe we'll add a few more keywords here. We'll do get keyword suggestions. See how it works with just our landing page. Okay, so they gave us way too many here, but what we could do is you're seeing busy board toy. Maybe we'll target busy board toy and Montessori busy boards. So both of these are targeted keywords that we can use for this ad group. So we'll use both of these and see how this keyword actually performs. So we'll scroll down, save and continue, and now we're going to create our ads again. Now, generally when you create your ads, it's going to pull in all of the information from your other ads. So you could do this pretty quickly by just basically going up here and doing, instead of Montessori bath toys, we will do Montessori busy boards and just copy and paste this everywhere we had our bath toys. Obviously, if you have anything specific to whatever your previous headlines or description lines were, then you want to change those as well. So, Brick Pop, shop the best busy board toys, shop Montessori busy boards, educational busy boards, shop our toy selection. Okay, we'll do shop our busy boards here. Keep scrolling down, official website, in stock, ready to ship. Make sure we don't have any bath toys still listed here. Okay, so we're all good there. Our display path, we want to do busy boards. Make sure we have the right landing page. We do not. We are going to come back over here and get we're still on bath toys, get the correct landing page here, come back over to our campaign and enter our final URL. Okay, so we have our final URL there, and now we're going to keep scrolling down. Okay, ad strength is poor right now, probably because our description lines don't match our headlines. So let's just take shop the top rated Montessori toys, and we'll do and busy boards at Brick Pop. Discover the best selection of Montessori busy boards and educational toys that we love. High quality Montessori. Shop our busy boards today, and then shop exceptional Montessori busy boards. So make sure we have this all correct here. At unbeatable prices, get your toys at Brick Pop. Now our ad strength is poor, probably because we have these pinned. Let's see what happens if we unpin these. Still poor. Include popular keywords in your headlines. So they don't have any headline suggestions. Add more headlines. No suggestions here. If you're seeing poor here, and you feel pretty good about the ads you created, so my final URL is Montessori busy boards, display path includes my keyword. Basically everything here looks very targeted. A lot of times when you're building ads, this will show poor in here, even though it is an excellent ad, just because it's not updating what this is actually showing. So that's perfectly fine. We'll pin these in position 1 because I think it makes more sense to have these in the position 1 on our advertisements. Don't use this as basically I have to have an excellent ad strength to create my ads, because you'll sit here all day sometimes and it just won't update even if your ads look good. Now sometimes what I'll do is a quick Control F and just make sure, or Command F if you're using a Mac, just make sure it doesn't say bath toys anywhere on the page. Okay, so it's saying 1, but it's not showing it. So I don't think there's any bath toy keywords here. I usually check at the very end. Now what we could also do is add some more site links here or some more asset types. We could do these at the ad group level as well, so I'll show you how to do that after we finish. So let's click on done. We have our Montessori busy boards here. Click on save and continue. Okay, so now we have our 2 ad groups. A couple different things that I would recommend. Now for Montessori busy boards, one of the things that you can do is we have our 2 keywords here. Let's come over to our ads first and foremost. One of the things that you can do, and we're going to pause this for now, is we can take this advertisement, come over here to edit, and we can copy it and we can paste it. Okay, so we're going to select our search campaign. We are going to be doing our Montessori busy boards here, clicking on done. We can pause new ads after pasting. If it already exists in destination, we want to create a duplicate and click on paste. Now what we can do is, if I come back over to my website, I actually have a blog post that is very similar to the product category page. Almost hoping my blog posts rank rather than the product category pages, but we'll go based on whatever has the highest conversion rate. And with Google Ads, what we can do is we can actually test this page where we have 18 Montessori busy boards. Again, you can see me creating this content. I still need to add descriptions here for these products, but you could see me creating this content through the members section. If you go to surfsideppc.com/membership, you can join right from this video. There's a little join button right underneath. Promise you it's going to be worth every penny if you're trying to grow your website. So we have 18 different products here. I'm eventually going to list some of the products from my actual product category page for busy boards here as well, but we'll take this URL, and all we're going to do is we're going to come over here. So this pasted our ad. This is our new advertisement is bold. So we're going to click on edit. And all we need to do, so we're basically A/B testing this advertisement. All we need to do is update this final URL. So we update the final URL to this other one. And now what Google Ads will do is send traffic to this page and send traffic to our product category page. Whatever performs better is going to be the winning ad. So generally, in what I've seen when I have ran campaigns like this, is the product category is going to, okay, so just showing us back to campaign, just seeing what some of these guides are here. Now, this is the first time I'm using this within this account, so they're showing me all of these different guides. But now we have two different ads here, basically two identical ads here with two different final URLs. So we can test our landing pages that way. Now, I think you can create a total of 3 responsive search ads per ad group. I generally don't run more than 2 because even if you have 2 and you're using unique headlines, maybe one you're focused on more promotion, one you're focused more on selling your actual products or your services, even if you have 2 different advertisements, I mean, that gives you access to 30 headlines, 8 description lines, and Google Ads is going to test all of those where you generally don't need a 3rd responsive search ad. In a high budget campaign, there's no downside to running a 3rd responsive search ad as well, but test one thing at a time, whether it's advertisement or landing page. You can't test a bunch of things at once. Now, the next thing I want to go over is we are in our ad group Montessori Busy Boards. If we come over to our ad group again, and we are looking at our Montessori Busy Boards ad group, click on assets and go to our assets here. There are certain assets you can add to the ad group level. So if we click on the plus sign here, and let's just use site link as an example. Now, some of the things we can get, we need to complete our advertiser verification. So I'll go through these later on. You could also add locations. So if you have a specific address, this will pull in from your Google business profile. And you definitely, if you have a location, want to add that there. If you're running a promotion, again, add that. If you want leads, add those. There's a bunch of different assets that will only improve your campaign performance. Let's choose site link here and to the ad group level. 2 unique site link assets are required for site links to show in your ads. We already have 4. It's going to say to maximize performance, add 4 or more. Now, what's going to happen is if we create an ad group level site link extension here, it's going to take precedence over our campaign level site link extensions. So you still want to use campaign level site links, but if you use ad groups, you can basically make your ad more relevant. Now, in this case, I'm using the Montessori Busy Boards example. So it's really, there's not specific pages that I'm like, I need people to go see some of these pages. But what I could do is just say, you know what, I want people to be able to see maybe something like Montessori puzzles. So we can say, let's add Montessori puzzles because busy boards, puzzles, somewhat similar, not exactly, but we can copy this link address just to go over the example. We will enter this as our final URL, Montessori puzzles here, and we will add this as an ad group level site link extension. Now, I would probably just still add this to the campaign level, but just want to use this as an example. There's certain times where ad group level can be much better. So in the example that I've used in the past, if you have all sorts of different ad groups and you're running for a home decor brand and maybe one of your ad groups is targeting bedding, then at the ad group level, what you want to do is some things like duvet covers, quilts, sheets, throw pillows, blankets, so things people may purchase along with bedding. So that's just one way to kind of look at your ad group level site link extensions are very relevant pages to whatever your ad group is targeting. So we'll use Montessori puzzles here and we will do, okay, so shop the top rated wooden puzzles and Montessori shape puzzles. So we have our final URL and we will click on save. Okay, and what you're going to see as we scroll down here, on this level here, we have campaign, and now we have Montessori puzzles at the ad group level for Montessori Busy Boards. So just another way to make your ads more relevant, another way to improve campaign performance. Now, let's come back over to our search campaign. A few different things that I want to go over really quickly with our campaign. Now, one thing I want to do is just make sure all my ads are paused here. Okay, so we have all of our ads paused. Now, what I want to go over is first, if we come over to our actual campaign itself, so we're within our search campaign. Okay, first things first, optimization score up here. So this is going to show basically everything as far as our optimization, and they may give us some recommendations. Sometimes they may say increase your budget or target all these different keywords. So use whatever recommendations seem like they make the most sense for you. You don't have to raise your budgets because Google Ads tells you to. You don't have to target every keyword because Google Ads tells you to. So this is one option as far as looking at your overall optimization score. Now, if we come over to our search campaign and click on the little gear here, we can open up our campaign settings just to make sure we have everything the way we want it to. Goals, use campaign-specific goal, outbound clicks, customer acquisition, bid equally for new and existing customers. One of the things you can do is only bid for new customers. Now, this is saying this campaign will not run. You need to have an audience segment with at least 1,000 active members in at least one network to turn off this setting. So I can't actually do this, but if you do have a lot of customers and you're really focusing on new customer acquisition, you can create a campaign that only focuses on new customers. So that's one thing to keep in mind for larger businesses. Leads is going to be my objective. Technically, it's affiliate sales, but basically I'm just tracking outbound clicks as a lead. Bidding strategy is one of the things I want to go over. Now, overall, this is all the way that I want it to be. So we have all of our settings good to go. All ads are under review. Hopefully we get approved here. Okay, now next what I want to go over are bid strategies. So for a campaign like this with a really low budget, one of the things you may want to consider doing is setting a bid limit. Now, if we come over here to our tools here, you're going to see budgets and bidding. A few different things that we can go over here. Shared budgets, you can actually share one budget among multiple campaigns. So let's say you're running a search campaign, a shopping campaign, a performance max campaign, and you want to spend $100 a day. You can use a shared budget for those campaigns. Bid strategies here, what I want to go over really quick with bid strategies is we can create a portfolio bid strategy and apply it to our campaign. Now, what I can do here is say target CPA, and if we scroll down here to advanced options, you're going to see minimum bid limit and maximum bid limit. Keep in mind that setting a maximum bid limit is going to keep you from actually joining specific auctions. So if the average cost per click for a keyword like Montessori math toys, for example, is 75 cents, there may be a threshold where if you're not bidding enough, you're just not going to enter the Google Ads auction. So it really depends on what your competitors are bidding. You cannot set too low of a maximum bid limit, otherwise your ads will never show up. So if I'm targeting a keyword like injury lawyer, you may have to bid very high. I would not recommend setting a maximum bid limit, and if you do, you have to make sure it's much higher than the average bids that people are actually using. Now, you can find more data for bidding by going to the keyword planner. I will finish off the video by going over the keyword planner really quick. You can find all of your keywords with the keyword planner. Now, Google Ads has that built-in keyword tool. So the keyword planner, if you do want to use it to build a huge keyword list, I almost use it for more for SEO at this point. But it's still an effective tool for your Google Ads campaigns, obviously. So create a shared budget to use? No. So we're going to select our campaign here. We're going to use the Brick Pop search campaign. Click on done. I'm going to do target CPA. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get it under $2. So we'll call this target CPA $2. Our target CPA is going to be set to $2. I obviously want to get this lower. Now, every click out on these affiliate links are definitely worth way less than $2. So not the greatest example for this type of business, but if, for example, every single lead, we've gone over this, is $30, set your target CPA, $15, $10. Your goal is to get it as low as possible. So you obviously want to run a revenue positive campaign where you have a positive return on ad spend. And if your target CPA is $50 and every single conversion on your website is worth $30, then you're essentially losing money unless you are optimizing for your customer lifetime value and focusing on growing new customers and basically improving your overall customer lifetime value. So let's come over here. We're going to set this at $2. That's why I don't really run ads for this type of business. So every now and then there's people that will be like, how are you going to actually drive conversions with a $5 budget? This is really just an example. What I would probably want to do is set my target CPA to like 25 cents, but it's not really overly realistic. So let's set a $2 target CPA. I would obviously want my budget, if my target CPA is $2, to be much higher than $5. So I don't plan to run this campaign at a huge budget because it's just not going to be profitable for me. And I'm all about profit when it comes to running advertising. So we are going to set this at $2. I would probably recommend setting a minimum budget if your target CPA is $2. Multiply it by 10, and that should probably be your absolute minimum. You should probably spend more than that, but if your target CPA is $30, for example, you probably want to be spending $300 a day, at least $100 a day, but you're not going to get enough data to actually drive conversions. So you really want to make sure that you have a high enough budget to be setting a target CPA like that. So $2 for our target CPA here. And what we're going to do is not use a shared budget. We're going to set a maximum bid limit here. And I'm going to set this very low to get started. We can always increase this We can always decrease this. We can always change all of this. So my maximum bid limit I'm going to set is 35 cents. Now, the one area that worries me if I have my bid limit this low is targeting broad match keywords, but we're going to do it and we're going to see what happens. So try to drive as many clicks as possible within our $5 budget. But the problem with bidding this low is we're basically going to be entering auctions that other advertisers don't find as valuable. So really, ideally, you don't want to set maximum bid limits. You want to leave this wide open. You want to allow Google Ads to enter all sorts of different auctions, even if you're spending a little bit more per click than you'd like to. Google Ads is going to use all of that testing data, and over time, what you can do is if your bids are a little bit too high to run a profitable campaign, say, you know what, I can't be spending more than $2 per click, then what we're going to do is we're going to set a maximum bid limit of $2 per click and see how that works for us. In this case, we're going to use 35 cents. Again, these are examples, so don't use my numbers. Use something that works better for whatever business you're running ads for. So we're going to click on Save, and now this is going to add this to our campaign. Okay, so campaign successfully added to the portfolio bid strategy. Our previous target CPA bid strategy has been replaced for our campaign. If we come in here really quick, we select our campaign. Okay, coming over here, clicking on campaigns on the left. So we come in here to our settings. You're going to see our bidding strategy is going to be changed now. So we went from maximize conversions to target CPA with a set bid limit, and that's all managed through our portfolio bid strategy. So right now, we're basically ready to run this campaign. What you want to be looking out for is over here on the right-hand side, you're going to start getting clicks, impressions. You can see what your click-through rate is, your average cost per click, your total cost, and then we have conversions, conversion rate, and our cost per conversion. So ultimately, what we're trying to do is drive conversions, always. You're trying to maximize your return on ad spend. If you come over here to columns and modify columns, you can look. There's a bunch of different columns you can choose from. This doesn't look great on my laptop, but a bunch of different things you could choose from. So results, results value, we have conversions. So you could also do conversion value. Now, every conversion for me counts as one. So conversion value will be the same basically as conversions, but you do want to use conversion value for anything you're selling, Shopify websites, WooCommerce websites. So anytime you are actually selling physical products or anything like that. Attribution, so you can look up conversions for your current model, applies to your current attribution model. So we're using data driven. So you can look up a little bit more data around attribution models, competitive metrics, search impression share. So basically the impressions you've received divided by estimated number of impressions you are eligible to receive. So different things that we can look at, but I don't want to get too in the weeds here with all of these different columns and all these different things that we can go through. So for right now, what you want to continue doing is we come over here to the ad groups for our campaign, and the goal is to build out as many ad groups as possible for your business. So for me, if I come over here to the Montessori toys category, I would want to do one for bath toys, busy boards, math toys, placemats, stacking toys, puzzles, play kitchens, play gyms, wooden toys. Those are all the categories I have right now. Those would be all the ad groups I would create, and I'd continue following the exact strategy I already showed you. So what you want to do with Google Ads is always test, run your campaigns. Don't get worried if your campaigns are not giving you a positive return on ad spend immediately, because it may take some time to do some testing, figure out which keywords are working. You can constantly improve your landing pages. So what you may want to do is set up custom landing pages. Whereas you send people to a page like this, you can also create a custom landing page that looks a little better on mobile where people will get in there. You may just have a quick headline at the top, basically a filter thing so people can kind of look through all the different filters on your website. So something like this where they can sort things, where they can find the types of products they're looking for using different categories. And then what you have is a much cleaner page. So I'll go over a little more about building custom landing pages. But for right now, keeping things simple for this tutorial. Last thing I want to quickly go over is tools and the keyword planner, so you have an idea of how much you need to bid for specific keywords. So assign keywords to ad groups automatically. Let's explore the keyword planner. Okay, so we are going to click on Discover New Keywords, and if I do Montessori Toys here, enter and click on Get Results. Okay, so to get more detailed statistics, run a campaign. Now we're running a campaign, but we still need to spend a little bit for the campaign to actually show. Don't like the way this is showing on my laptop. I don't know why it's looking like this, but real quick, if we come over here on the right-hand side, I don't know why I can't expand this. Okay, so we'll scroll down here. We have show rows, 10 rows. Let's just do 50 rows. And then what you want to do is scroll over here Now this definitely looks better if I have my screen expanded, so I probably need to update my keyword planner tutorial again. But what we're looking for over here on the right is top of page bid, the low range, and top of page bid, the high range. So just to go over the low range, shows the lower range of what advertisers have historically paid for a keyword's top of page bid based on location and search network settings. The average CPC of your keywords may vary. So you're seeing a pretty wide variety of bids here for Montessori toys. One of the keywords we're targeting is Montessori busy boards. So if we scroll over, you're going to see top of page bid on the low range is 34 cents. I set my maximum CPC bids to 35 cents. So clearly the main thing for me is I need to make sure I have the strongest ads possible so I can maximize basically my overall ad rank with limited bids. So the best thing you could do for that is create a really organized campaign with really organized ad groups, which I feel like we've done already. But for right now, what we want to do is run this campaign for a little bit, see how it performs, and we will go from there. In the next portion of this video, I'm going to be going over Bing Ads campaigns, aka Microsoft advertising campaigns. So I'm going to be showing you how to set up a search campaign in your Bing Ads account so that you can actually target people who use Yahoo, Bing, DuckDuckGo, and AOL.com, and we're going to be able to drive people back to our website who are searching our targeted keywords. So let's get into it. Okay, I'm going to be doing my Bing Ads / Microsoft advertising tutorial. This is going to be really just building a search campaign and some best practices when you're building a search campaign. This is a beginner's tutorial, so if you're an advanced advertiser, this is not for you at all. I'm going to have more advanced videos coming out as far as Microsoft advertising, including an e-commerce series with Microsoft advertising as well, because it's such a good channel for e-commerce, and I don't think enough companies use it that are in e-commerce. So let's get started here, and you need to first create your Microsoft advertising account. The other thing you need to do is complete the advertiser verification. And then when you do actually join Microsoft advertising, I would recommend using what's called expert mode. So expert mode is what I'm in. You don't need to be an expert to be in expert mode. It just gives you more control. There is a smart mode. I truthfully never use smart mode, so I would recommend just using expert mode, and that's going to be an option when you do set up your Microsoft advertising account. And then once you come in here, just set up billing and make sure you complete all of your business information, and you should get to a screen that looks like this eventually. Now, when you get to a screen like this, the very first thing you need to do is set up conversion tracking. So whatever the key performance indicators on your website are, that is what you need to track. Now, in this case, I'm not going to be going over exactly how I set up my conversion tracking, but I'm going to show you a few simple examples for setting up conversion tracking using Microsoft advertising. If you're looking for a resource for setting up Microsoft advertising or Bing Ads, basically we use these terms interchangeably. Most people still search Bing Ads and still refer to it as Bing Ads, so I call it both. So if you hear me say Microsoft advertising or Bing Ads, it means the same exact thing. But a very good resource, quick, easy article, and a video is how to add conversion tracking for Shopify for Microsoft ads. So I'll put this link in the video description because it's helpful, and then you have a video here. If we scroll down, it's very, very simple. You go to your Shopify store, select checkout, go to order processing, stop at additional scripts, add your universal event tracking tag. So that is going to be something I'll show you in a minute. Under conversion tracking, and then what we're going to do is switch back to the Shopify admin tab, paste the code in additional scripts. Tracking revenue, you just need to copy the code below underneath your UET tag that you placed in additional scripts. Click on save, and it will now report conversions and revenue back to Microsoft Ads for all your campaign types. That allows you to actually optimize your campaigns to drive you more revenue. So if you have a Shopify website, you're following along with this tutorial, which you can. This is going to help you create a search campaign. It just won't help you show anything with shopping or Performance Max, but it will help you create a search campaign, and you can make sure that you're setting up your conversion tracking properly. Now, what I would recommend doing is using Google Tag Manager, and it's easy to set up specific events. It's easy to add your universal event tracking tag there, so you can see mine down here, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. So what I'm going to be doing today is running ads for my website, brickpop.com. We're just going to be going to the shop and sending some of the traffic directly to the shop pages. This website is purely an affiliate website. So it's not something where I'm actually driving sales. I'm just trying to drive people to click off my website to some of these affiliate products. When people click off to some of these affiliate products, it actually counts as a conversion. Now, setting this up is a little bit complicated for me, but it's not really something that's going to be useful for you if that's not your main goal. So I'm going to show you today the two different main options for tracking your website conversions using Microsoft advertising. So let's come over here first and foremost. We're going to go to Tools, and the very first thing is your UET tag. I need to make sure your UET tag is installed. So if we click here, you can actually see my tag ID right there. Let's come over to Google Tag Manager. When you go to your workspace or your tags and you click to add a new tag, tag configuration, search Microsoft, and it'll come up right here, Microsoft Advertising Universal Event Tag. What you're going to do is leave this as it is, leave this as it is, and then you just need to take that tag ID that we had. So coming over here, copying our tag ID, and then pasting it right there. Scrolling down, triggering it on all pages. So now that puts the UET tag on every page on our website. You click on Save. So we'll just do example UET tag. I don't want to add it twice. So we'll click on Save and then submit this to your workspace, and now that tag is on your website. You do need to have Tag Manager installed on your website as well. In order to do that, go to the admin section, install Google Tag Manager, and from there you can paste this code underneath your opening header tag and this code underneath your opening body tag. I have tutorials on my channel for how to install Google Tag Manager on Shopify, how to install Google Tag Manager on WordPress. I will put them in the video description. Very straightforward process to install this. You can also, if you want to, come over to your Microsoft advertising account, and when you're looking at your universal event tracking tag, make sure you create it if you haven't already. So I've already created one. Coming over here and clicking on View Tag, and from there you can take this, it says copy, and then paste the UET tracking code into every page of your website. If you want to do this later or keep a copy, you can send it in an email or download it. So you can copy this and basically just put it in the header portion of your website. So you can use things like insert headers and footers. Those allow you to add tracking code to your website. That is a WordPress plugin. I usually use WordPress head, footer, and post injections as the plugin, but there's a lot of plugins that can do this, including the code snippets plugin. So if you already have a plugin on your website for how to do this, just use that existing plugin. Or what I would recommend doing, and I honestly have switched a lot of my tracking to Google Tag Manager, I would recommend using Google Tag Manager as well. So just taking this, submitting that, and now we have our UET tag on our website. So from there, coming back over to our conversion tracking, we're going to click on Tools again, go to our conversion goals. This is where you need to set up conversion goals for your website. So when you click on Create, you're going to see what type of conversions you want to track. Mobile app install, offline, you can actually import conversions directly into your Microsoft advertising account, or we'll click on Website, click on Next. What is the goal category here? So what is the main thing people are doing? In my case, it was outbound click. So what you're going to see are two different goal types, destination URL or event. Destination URL means tracking a thank you page on your website. So if you have a specific surfsideppc.com/thank-you, in this case, I'm in my Surfside PPC account. I'm going to be using this example for brickpop.com. I'm not actually running this campaign. But again, the process here is set up our conversion tracking and then create the campaign. So once your conversion tracking is set up, you can follow my exact campaign tutorial that's going to be starting in a few minutes. So goal type here, either destination URL. This is the easiest way to do it, is just name your tag. Just do your destination URL, and you can literally do contains. And if you're sending people to a thank you page, you can enter a thank you page. If it's some type of order confirmation page, so after somebody completes an order on your website, send them to that order confirmation page, and you can even set a revenue, and you can say each conversion has the same value and set that here. You could say conversion action value may vary, for example, by purchase price. Now this is where you're going to see you're going to need to customize your UET tag tracking code to report variable revenue. This is not something I'm going to be going over in this video, but I do want to create a separate Bing Ads conversion tracking video, so that is something that I do have in my pipeline coming out. But if you do set destination URL, at the very least, you can track every time the conversion action happens. And if you're not able to pull in that conversion action value, what you can do is basically just say, okay, the average order on my website leads to, let's see, is an $80 order. You can always just set $80 here and say, okay, that is going to be what the value is of every conversion action when someone purchases from my website, and you'll at least get a rough idea of how much your actual website, or how much your conversion is actually sending in terms of revenue to your website. So that is one of the options there, is basically setting up a destination goal. Next, if we come back over here, so we'll click on Create again, Website, Next, Goal Category. So let's just say it's Submit Lead Form Event. Track every time someone completes a specific action, such as subscribing to a newsletter, downloading a white paper as a conversion. In this case, if I click on Next and we open up on Surfside PPC. This is just my services page. Need to improve this page as well, but let's just say I want to track every time someone clicks the submit button. So what we could do here is we can come over, we can name this. So we'll just say sample conversion. Revenue, we're just going to say each conversion has the same value. We're just going to set it as leads, so it counts as 1 every time. Scope is going to be on my account. Count, I would recommend doing unique. So this is how you would want to do for leads, and for purchases, you want to count all. So unique leads. Conversion window, so that means if somebody clicks this button 100 times, it doesn't count as 100 conversions. Conversion window, so we'll just keep this at 30-day. View through conversion window, so when somebody actually sees your ad after they convert, you can set this a little bit longer. Sometimes I'll set it to 7 days. Including conversions, yes. And then conversion attribution model is going to be last click. And we're going to click on next. You're going to see we will turn auto tagging of Microsoft Click ID on as it is required for UET conversion goals. So we're going to click on next here. And now what you're going to see is, do you have this UET tag installed on your website? Yes, it is installed, and all the pages, if you're not sure, you can click here. They'll give you some instructions for installing your tag. Click on save and next. 2 different options, manual installation or code-free powered by Microsoft Clarity. Manual installation is a little bit more complicated, and what I'd like to do is point out analyticsmania.com. So they have some of the best resources in terms of conversion tracking. And I can tell you they've taught me how to set up conversion tracking for different accounts that I've worked with. So I use analyticsmania.com anytime I have to start conversion tracking because they have great blog articles here. Microsoft Ads conversion tracking with Google Tag Manager. This will show you every single way to actually track conversions on your website. So as we scroll down here, you can see install the UET tag, send additional events to Microsoft Ads, create conversions that will match the information of your events. So I recently set this up in my Beachfront Decor account, and I did it for outbound clicks and set it up using Google Tag Manager. It's a little bit complicated here. I'm in Beachfront Decor right now. But if we come over here to my tags, basically what we have here is the Microsoft Advertising Universal Event Tracking, and we have the Microsoft Advertising Event. So we click on it. And what it does is the track type is a custom conversion. So we're not doing the UET configuration. We're doing the custom conversion. Name the event action, set a category, set a label, and then we need to set up the same thing in our Microsoft advertising account. I also have a conversion trigger. So this is anytime someone clicks on an outbound link, which leads to a conversion variable. The conversion variable equals true. The conversion variable is anytime there's an outbound click on my website. There's a lot of different ways to set this up, but it did work, and it's works properly in my Beachfront Decor account. Okay, and what we can do is use this code-free powered by Microsoft Clarity. So I have a specific form on my website. So let's just say I'm trying to drive PPC advertising services. We scroll down here and somebody clicks on submit. I want that to count as a conversion. So we're going to take this page, come back over here. We're going to click on next after we choose that. Which web page you want to track, click on connect. Okay, so what we're going to do is click on choose an event, and then we're going to scroll down here and we're going to select this event right here. Select a highlighted area to choose your event. We're going to click on it. Event added, complete. So now our event setup should be completely good, and we should have this conversion all ready to go. Next step is to test your conversion goal. It could take 24 hours to verify it, so you could always fill out your form and see if it actually collects that information through your conversion goals. But that's an easy way to set up an event tracking. So that is conversion tracking in Microsoft Advertising and Bing Ads. I would definitely recommend looking at analyticsmania.com. They have a great resource here. And then if you're looking for Shopify information, intercom.help has some helpful information here. I'll put both of those links in the video description. Now let's start building our campaign. So we're going to come back. We're going to go to our campaigns, and let's build and create a new search campaign. So we're going to create a brand new search campaign. And usually your goal is going to be conversions. So there's a couple different options here depending on what your overall goals are. I don't have a catalog uploaded to Microsoft Advertising for this account. If you have an e-commerce website, make sure you create your catalog, upload it to Microsoft Advertising using the Merchant Center with Microsoft Advertising. If you're familiar with Google Ads, Bing Ads, Microsoft Advertising is basically the same exact thing. So what you want to do is choose your goal for this campaign. In my case, it's going to be conversions on my website. Basically, I want people to come to my website, go to some of these different pages here. So for example, Montessori balance boards, click through to this page. Well, I'm going to send them directly to that page as my landing page. And then when people click on my individual products and click on learn more, that counts as an outbound click. So any outbound click is essentially my goal. So as we're building this campaign, let's do conversions on my website. what kind of ads you want to run for this campaign. We want to run search ads. We're going to click on next. Okay, let's name our campaign. So let's do, okay, so we'll do Brick Pop sample campaign budget. So you can set an individual budget for your campaign or apply a budget from the shared library. I'm just going to leave this as is. Again, I'm not running this campaign. This is solely for a tutorial. Keep scrolling down, and what we're going to do is, where do you want your ads to appear? So let's choose specific locations, and I just want to choose United States. So we're going to do United States, click on enter, and now we have the country region. One of the things you're going to see is if you choose certain areas, let's just say, we'll say Houston, for example. So you could do 25 miles around Houston, Minnesota, Houston, Mississippi, 25 miles around Houston, Texas. So you can target all of these different locations. And then you can also target these Nielsen DMA regions. Just make sure you target the right one, because this one is Mississippi and this one down here is Houston, Texas in Texas. So just make sure that you have the correct Nielsen DMA region, or you can use radius targeting. So it's really a matter of preference. If you serve a 25-mile area around a city, then use radius targeting, because there's no downside to using radius targeting. So we'll choose United States and target the entire country of United States. And now we have our location targeting set. Keep scrolling down here. Who should see your ads? I always do people in my targeted locations. Language, you want to select the language of the websites you want your ads to appear on, but ultimately our ads are mostly going to appear on Bing ads or on Bing.com as advertisements, on Yahoo as advertisements, on AOL.com as advertisements, on DuckDuckGo.com for advertisements. So those are all some of the different search engines that Bing ads actually, where your ads will run. Enable auto-generated assets for responsive search ads. Okay, so a lot of times I will select this, and in this case I will, and the main reason I will is when we come over here to our website and we click through to our Montessori balance boards, for example, it's going to take the information from our website to actually generate some of our assets for us, or to improve some of our assets. And overall with this, I have a nice little description here. I have the headline at the top. It's probably just mostly going to use this text at the very top here. So as we come down here, we can enable auto-generated assets for our responsive search ads. Show a disclaimer for ads in this campaign. We don't necessarily need to do that. And on this, I'm not going to enable dynamic search ads. So we're going to save and go to the next step. Okay, so once we enter our website here, and you don't need to worry about actually entering your final URL, your landing page URL, you just need to enter your website URL right here. On the right-hand side, you're going to get some ad group and keyword ideas. Now, my first ad group is going to be Montessori balance boards. I entered that keyword here. You'll see some recommended keywords at the bottom if we continue to scroll down. But let's do my ad group name here, and we're going to start with Montessori balance boards. And what we're going to do is there's 3 different keyword match types we can use. You only want to use 1 keyword match type per ad group. And in this case, we could either use broad match keywords. The keyword match type will be broad unless you put quotes or brackets around your keyword. If you use quotes, it's a phrase match keyword, so you'll see quotes around this keyword here. If you use brackets around your keyword, it's an exact match keyword. You can keep things really simple and just basically go Montessori balance boards. And this specific keyword, a phrase match keyword, will target plenty of different search terms that are very relevant to the actual keyword that we're targeting. You don't need to worry about misspellings. This will handle all misspellings and close variations, and also searches that are very similar in terms of the overall search intent. Now, if you're looking for more volume, you want to do a little bit more testing, you have a large budget, you're planning to add a lot of negative keywords to your campaign, just use the broad match keyword. Broad match keywords can perform well for you as long as you have conversion tracking and smart bidding set up. But what you want to do in my case, and what I would recommend doing, especially if your budget is somewhat limited, go with a phrase match keyword. You don't have to worry about as much testing, and you don't have to worry about having a month or two where your performance just isn't as good as it could be. If you want things to be really relevant and you want to sacrifice volume somewhat, use exact match keywords, and it's only going to match searches that are basically the same exact intent as this keyword. So it'll still target misspellings and plurals and things like that. But generally, to me, you find the best balance with phrase match keywords between volume and relevancy. It is really something you should test to get the best possible results. So now we have our keyword here, we have our ad group name, our websites here. Let's add one more ad group just as an example. We're just going to follow the same exact script here. So, well, we don't need to copy our URL yet. Let's come over, and we are going to enter our ad group name is Montessori Busy Boards in this case. And we are going to use a phrase match keyword, Montessori Busy Boards. Okay, so we have our 2 ad groups set up. You don't have to use single keyword ad groups. It's not something that is a necessity. In this case, I just kind of works the best for this type of campaign, but I would put multiple keywords in the same ad group. The example earlier from Montessori blocks, where I said, I can target Montessori wooden blocks, building blocks, stacking blocks, just making sure you're targeting all those keywords, you can put them all in the same ad group. And it really shouldn't sacrifice your overall performance at all. So we have our 2 ad groups here, and now we're going to come down and we are going to save and go to the next step. So now what we want to do is create advertisements. So these are our standard ad groups. You want to create advertisements, you want to create ad extensions, and then what we want to do is come all the way to the bottom and save and go to the next step. I'm going to go through some of these different ad extensions that are available in your Microsoft advertising account, and then we'll create a few of them just to show you an example, but I already have some set up from old campaigns from Surfside PPC that I haven't ran in years and years. So the ad type, we are going to be using responsive search ads, and basically what that allows us to do is add a bunch of different headlines here, and then we can add some different description lines here. So we can add 4 description lines. We can keep adding our headlines here. Okay, so 15 different headlines that we have, and then we have our 4 description lines. We have our display path, and down here we have our URL. You can set a separate mobile URL if you want. I'm not going to. Let's start with, this is our ad for Montessori balance boards. Now I'm only going to write 1 ad here, so it's a best practice to create multiple ads per ad group because it just allows Microsoft advertising to test your ads a little bit more. First, our final URL. So this is for balance boards, so we're sending people to the right URL. Next, let's create our headlines. You're going to see ad strength over here on the right-hand side, and then some recommended headlines. These are based on our actual URL here. So let's do, I usually start with kind of the basic headlines here. Montessori busy boards. Not busy boards, it's balance boards. Maybe I should have picked 2 ad groups that are a little bit different, but let's make sure we use the right ad copy here. So that's an important thing when you're setting up your campaigns. Best Montessori balance boards. So we can use some of these here. So we'll use some of them. Usually I'll use some ideas that they have. As we scroll down, they have things usually, so some description lines down here as well. So let's do, okay, we have all of our headlines here. Now I wouldn't go crazy trying to create the perfect ad strength ads. This is literally just feedback for your own advertisements. It is not used in the actual auction itself. So some ad strength here, basically it's telling us add longer descriptions, add longer headlines, make your headlines more unique. I'm not going to worry too much about that. You can pin specific headlines in the top spot. So one of the things you may want to do is things like Montessori balance boards, best Montessori balance boards. Use a few of these in position 1 because as your ads are actually being shown, you can make sure that that first position is the main keyword that you're targeting. You could also do things like shop balance boards, so we'll put that in position 1. Balance boards we love, put in position 1. Top Montessori balance boards. Okay, so we'll use all 5 of these in position 1. Now let's keep scrolling down. Let's add some descriptions. I'm literally just going to press add all the descriptions they have written for me. Okay, so we have our descriptions. Let's see so our ad strength is average. That's fine. So we scroll down here. We're going to do our path here. So we're going to do balance boards. I would recommend writing your own descriptions. Just kind of writing descriptions can take some time. So we're just going to leave the descriptions that they have. So this is what our ads are going to look like. Top view, side view, mobile view. So overall, good advertisements to me. We're sending them to the right landing page. We're targeting a relevant keyword, and we have a relevant advertisement. So it's really that simple. And now what we can do is, now mobile URL, we're just going to use the same exact URL. And what we can do is click on save. And now we have our first ad created. And now we just need to create an ad for Montessori busy boards. We're going to skip this step, but I would recommend creating an ad there as well. Now let's scroll down here and a few different ad extensions that we have. Action extensions show a call to action button in your text ad. So might as well add an action extension and just go through here and just choose something as far as coming down and shop now. So enter our final URL. Now action extensions, these ad extensions are going to be added to the campaign level. So you need to make sure your final URL goes directly to your shop and we don't send it directly to this page here. So we can go directly to our product category for Montessori toys, assuming that we're targeting all Montessori keywords in this campaign. So now we have shop now, send people directly to our shop, and we can click on save. And now we have our action extension added to our campaign. Click on save down here. Okay, so we have our action extension added. Price extension, so you can do, basically if you have specific prices, if you click on the plus sign here, you can see header, description, price qualifier from up to average. Currencies, you can enter your currency here, enter the price. unit, so per hour, per day, per week, per month, per year. Sometimes there's no unit, and then final URL. So the example I give a lot here is, let's just say you offer oil change. You could say oil change, description, enter get an oil change there. Price qualifier, you could say oil changes from, and I would use US dollars usually, but we'll say oil changes from $50. So maybe a basic oil change at your mechanic is $50. So we enter that there, no unit, enter the final URL to our oil change page. So that is a price extension we're going to cancel and not add any price extensions. Promotion extensions, if you're running an active promotion, you can click here and say, okay, our occasion is going to be our fall sale, and we're running a 20% off coupon. So you could say displayed start date, end date, item here. So maybe it's the entire store, maybe it's specific categories, final URL, promotion type, monetary discount, percent discount. So we do 20% off. So that is a promotion extension. We're not going to add that to our campaign. Site link extensions. So these are very, very common. Basically add links to other pages on your website. So enter your link text, your description lines, final URL here. So for Brick Pop, I could say, okay, let's link out to my bath toys, my busy boards, my play kitchens, my math toys. Put all of those at the campaign level, and then you just click on save, and now you have site link extensions. If you've already set them up, what you could do is over here, just take these site link extensions and add them directly to your campaign by clicking on the plus sign or the minus sign to get rid of them, and then click on save. So call-out extensions, basically just add some additional text to your ad. Call-out extensions are good for just quick little, free shipping over $50, easy, fast returns, things along those lines. Any types of unique selling propositions that you have should be included in call-out extensions. Structured snippet extensions, you can show specific types of products. You could show degree programs if you're a college. So basically it allows you just to show different things you offer based on so if we click on add real quick, we'll just show you an example. Add new structured snippet. So some different things you can add here. So neighborhoods, services, service catalog. So if I'm running ads for Surfside PPC, I can put, okay, we offer Google ads, Bing ads, etc., etc. So structured snippets, very popular. Filter link extensions, not something I use very often. Highlight specific aspects of your products and services using filter links. So if you add it here, you can enter value, final URL, mobile final URL, and under the header, you're going to see either amenities, bestsellers, brands, classes, courses. So just a different way to kind of show some different links as far as using a header as well. So you'll see examples, Wi-Fi, pool, fitness center, kitchenette. That is something that a hotel could do and kind of link out to some of the information about all of these different things. So we'll get rid of filter link extensions. We're not adding those. Review extensions, so you can actually show a review from a third-party source in your ad. You do need to link to the source. So if somebody puts, Brick Pop is a legitimate source, writes about brickpop.com and says, they're great at whatever ABC, I can enter that as review text. You could do this for, for Surfside PPC. I can use from a source that said Surfside PPC is great at managing Google ads. I could use that as my review text, enter that source, and then the source URL. So review extension, another option. Location extension, you can add your physical location to your advertisements. This is for any store, any type of company that has a physical location that you want to appear in your advertisements. Call extensions are, you can add a phone number to your ad. On mobile devices, people can actually click to call you, and then on desktop devices, it will show your phone number with a lot of different searches so people can call you directly from just seeing your phone number in your advertisement. Flyer extensions are similar to just image extensions. So if you add a new flyer extension, you can name it, and then you add an image. The minimum size 220 by 220, cannot exceed 3.9 megabytes. Final URL, mobile URL, description, start date, end date. So some different options for a flyer extension. Let's save and go to the next step. No, I knew they were going to make me create an ad. Okay, we're going to do this quickly. Okay, we're just going to create this ad real quick and click on save. Again, I'm not running this campaign, so just kind of showing you how I structure a search campaign. So we have some of our extensions. We can save and go to the next step, and now we have our budgets and our bids. So our individual budget, we'll just use $25 per day. You can set your budget at whatever you want to set your daily budget at. Take your budget and multiply it by 30.4, and you can get an idea of how much you're going to spend per month. Now, if we come over here, bid strategy, either enhance CPC, maximize conversions, target CPA, target return on ad spend, or you could use a portfolio bid strategy across different campaigns. Generally, I always recommend a smart bidding strategy. So one of these three here, in this case, I'm trying to drive leads, I would use target CPA and say my target cost per acquisition is something like, now, Mine are, the reason I don't run ads for this is clicks off on these products are just not worth a whole lot. They're worth cents. I could drive 100 clicks. It's not going to send me a ton of money. So that's the reason why I really don't run a lot of ads for any of these websites, because running ads for these websites is not going to be profitable, and it doesn't lead to new customers. It leads to new affiliate sales. So it's not something that I look at as a long-term strategy. But what you could do is you can set a target CPA, and then you could say, I want to set a maximum CPC. Keep in mind, if you set a maximum CPC, it will exclude you from certain auctions. So if, for example, the average cost per click for one of the keywords I'm targeting is $1, and I set a maximum CPC at 50 cents, then I may not enter every single auction, and I'll probably be excluded from a lot of auctions just because my competitors are bidding higher, even if I've set up an organized campaign. So you can use maximum CPCs, and I do use them a lot, especially in Google Ads when I'm using portfolio bid strategies. And what you can do is make sure that you're just bidding on a lot of keywords and creating a lot of ad groups. So for my website, I would make sure I'm targeting all of these different keywords, all these subcategories, and then what I can do is set that maximum bid limit to make sure that I'm not spending too much on a cost per click basis. This is also something, again, if you have a very large budget, you can set a cost per acquisition, just leave this wide open. I like to set maximum CPCs when I start, even if you set them a little bit higher than what you expect to pay. So $1.50 would be high enough for all of these different keywords. So if you're not sure where to set this at, you could always set it high and decrease it, or set it low and see how much your campaign actually spends, and then increase it over time. Conversions, we're going to use the include in conversion settings. So that means any conversions that we've created that have the include in conversions, they are going to be counted for this campaign. You could also choose specific conversion goals. So maybe we'll just choose specific since we have our sample conversion or our affiliate clicks conversion we created earlier. So we'll use our affiliate clicks conversion. Campaign targets, so targeted locations, United States. You can use some bid adjustments to increase or decrease bids for these specific locations you're targeting or specific devices that you're targeting. Advanced campaign settings, start date and end dates, you can set those. You can set ad scheduling, set your time zone. So other settings, choose options that are applicable to your campaign. Multimedia ads, so multimedia ads, you can increase or decrease your bids. So we can leave that as is. Ad distribution, so the entire Microsoft advertising network. So this is the option includes Microsoft sites, additional partner traffic for extended reach and a lower cost per click. This option includes, so Microsoft sites and select traffic, includes Microsoft sites and select partner traffic with performance conversion rates similar to Microsoft Bing's. All options include search and audience ads. I would recommend the entire Microsoft advertising network as your ad distribution. And now let's click on save. Okay, our campaign is created. It's in review. It's going to go live soon. I do not want to actually spend for this campaign. Limited, not enough conversion data. That's perfectly fine. You can still start a campaign with a conversion bid strategy. If you're really not getting enough results, try maximize conversions. If that's still not getting enough results, look at using an enhanced CPC bid strategy and then switching over to the other bid strategy. But that is our campaigns. We'll just look at our all campaigns here real quick. We're going to go into our campaign, just look at it. So we have our two different ad groups, Montessori busy boards, Montessori balance boards, auto bids because we're using target CPA. Again, if your campaign is not spending, you probably need to add more targeting. You probably need to increase your minimum bids for target CPA. You probably need to increase what your actual target CPA is. So look at all of those things if your campaign's not spending. If we come down here, we can look at the keywords that we're targeting. So we have two different phrase match keywords. You can adjust your match types at any time. Just go to this drop down. So you could always change that. And then as we come down, or we'll come to the top here, ads and extensions. So extensions are actually called assets in Google Ads now, but we can see our ads and you could actually just click here, make sure your ads have the correct landing page. So we click on our Montessori busy boards ad or Montessori balance boards ad, goes directly to the correct page, and now we have our campaign set up and ready to run. Now what you want to do is let your campaign get some activity for a little bit. Generally, I recommend running for a week or two. You want to build out your entire campaign. So when I'm talking about all of these different subcategories that we have, I would build out my entire campaign before I ever start running it. I would definitely want to create more ad groups than I currently have. So 2 ad groups is not nearly enough. I've had campaigns with hundreds of ad groups, and usually especially with automated bidding, it makes more sense to add as many ad groups as possible as long as you're making sure that your campaign stays organized. So this is my Bing Ads tutorial for beginners, how to set up a campaign, a search campaign, some best practices as far as your conversion tracking, your targeting. Keyword match types, I would recommend testing broad match, phrase match, exact match. What you want to do is kind of, so when I'm testing keywords, what I'll do is come over to our keywords really quick within this campaign, is let these phrase match keywords run for a little bit. If you're seeing good performance, don't change them. If you're not seeing good performance, what you can do is go to your search terms report and actually see the search terms that are triggering your ads. If these search terms are not relevant, you need to start adding some negative keywords. You can also incorporate negative keyword lists as soon as you start your campaign. So that's another best practice to use. So use the search terms report as well. If you're using broad match keywords, you're going to see a lot of irrelevant search terms in the search terms report. Just keep in mind that Bing Ads is testing your campaign, so they're showing you for a lot of different search terms. If they don't convert long term and you're using conversion tracking, you're using the right smart bidding strategy, generally over time, Bing Ads will stop targeting those keywords. If you want things to be really relevant, try exact match keywords. They tend to be a little more expensive, but they are more relevant and targeted. So from there, the other things to test your ads and extensions: create 2 responsive search ads per ad group, because it's just going to help you test a little bit more. You can create different themes for your responsive search ads. Make sure you're using every relevant ad extension for your campaign. If you accept phone calls, use phone calls. If you have fixed prices or prices that start at a certain dollar amount, enter price extensions. The more extensions you use, the better your overall ad strength is, and it's only going to help your campaign performance. The other thing to test are landing pages. So you can use, for example, something like Montessori balance boards and send people directly to this page with all these different products for sale. I can also create a blog post, something like the 20 best Montessori balance boards for 2023. People go to the blog post, they read some of the reviews for all the different products, click through to one of them, and hopefully purchase something from my website. So those are some of the different strategies for Bing Ads, Microsoft advertising, running your search campaigns. In the next portion of this video, I'm going to be going over all the different search engine marketing platforms, the main search engine marketing platforms where you can run your advertisements, and some of the different ad types that you can run with search engine marketing as well. So let's get into it. Today, I'm going to be going over search engine marketing ads, some of the different ad types, and also some of the top search engine marketing platforms. So I just recently wrote this blog post, so I'll go through this blog post a little bit in the very beginning just to go over some of the different ad types that you can run and some of the top platforms. Now, before we go over that, I'm on similarweb.com, and this is the search engine market share in the United States. So I'm going to focus on United States search engine market share for this video. But if you look here, you can see Google basically dominates search engine market share. Now, I would also consider YouTube another search engine. I would also consider Amazon another search engine. So there are other search engines, but basically when you're looking at Google, Bing, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, they account for pretty much the entirety of the market share in the major search engines in the United States. Now, one of the things I want to point out as we get started here is, where does Microsoft Advertising show your ads? So Microsoft Advertising shows ads on Bing, AOL, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo. So basically, by creating advertisements for Google and then on Bing/Microsoft Advertising, then you could basically attract every single person who's searching in every major search engine, at least in the United States. So I want to get started right there. Now, what I'm going to go over throughout this blog post are some different ad examples, some different ways that you can target your advertisements. I'm not going to be showing you how to set up advertisements in this video. I will have a search engine marketing tutorial coming out where I'm showing you how to create ads on some of the top search engines. But if we come over here to my blog post really quickly and first go over some of the different ad types. So I boiled it down to about 6 total ad types for search engine marketing ads. So you have Google search ads. If we keep scrolling down, some examples of Google search ads. I'll show more examples throughout the video. Google shopping ads, keep coming down. Microsoft search ads, Microsoft product ads. So if you're in e-commerce and you're running these 4 ad types, you're pretty much tapping into most of the search engine volume you can possibly even attract. So we keep coming down here, Pinterest ads. So Pinterest is still a pretty large search engine, even though it's not shown with the search engine market share, because it's not considered your standard search engine. You're basically just searching Pinterest. But with Pinterest, you can target keywords, so I'll go over that in a little bit. With Pinterest, you can also target keywords and get some really targeted advertisements based on what people are actually searching. So if I search home office here, I got 2 advertisements, one from Wayfair, a lighted vanity mirror, so these are popular in home offices, and then over here from JCPenney, a home office collection desk. So very targeted advertisements and very useful advertisements for my search term. Last but not least, Amazon sponsored product ads. So search farmhouse lamp. Usually the very top things are all advertisements in Amazon. So that boils down to about 4 search engine marketing platforms. Google Ads, keep coming down. You can watch my Google Ads tutorial on my channel. We'll link to this in the video description. Microsoft Advertising and Bing Ads, Amazon Advertising, and Pinterest Ads. So let's go through some of these and let's go through some different examples of advertisements that we can run. So first things first, let's get started here by showing some examples of Google search ads based on what I'm actually searching. So I searched luxury SUV 2023. So top advertisement, Infiniti luxury SUVs, view current offers. I clicked on the advertisement. Sorry, advertisers, I am wasting your ad dollars a little bit today, which I don't like to do, but got to show some examples here. So crossovers and SUVs. So basically I come in here, we will accept all cookies. And as we scroll down, you can see the 4 different crossovers and SUVs. So really good landing page, honestly, because if I'm looking for a luxury SUV, they're basically saying, do you want the largest luxury SUV we have? Do you want one of our mid-sized luxury SUVs? There's a few different options that we can choose from. So solid advertisement based on what I'm searching, solid landing page based on what I'm searching as well. So that's a Google search ad. You can target keywords through your Google Ads campaigns, and then you can send people to really, really relevant landing pages, making sure that people are finding exactly what they're looking for on your landing pages. Now, next example, let's say I buy one of these luxury Infiniti SUVs, and then we come over here. I need some rims for my luxury SUV. So I want to get 20-inch rims for my new Infiniti luxury SUV here. So this is an example where we have search ads. So right here on the left-hand side, we have search ads, and over here on the right-hand side, we have shopping ads. So if we click on any of these advertisements here, we come into this page. So I clicked on one of the advertisements over here on the right-hand side. Open the page. It's going to bring us directly to this product page. So we can easily go in here, choose what type of, will this fit whatever car we have, how much it's going to cost us. We can add these easily to our cart and purchase them. So another really relevant advertisement and a targeted advertisement. And you can see they are 20-inch rims, it looks like. So these would be exactly what I was looking for. So 2 examples of advertisements first and foremost, our search ads, and then even here you may get search ads and shopping ads at the same time. So anywhere you see sponsored, those are advertisements, and these are considered search engine marketing ads because you are literally marketing at the top of the search engine results pages. So let's bring ourselves over to Bing. So Bing, Infiniti service near me, so I have not the greatest ad, Infiniti parts online, Infiniti parts and accessories, but maybe if I'm looking for Infiniti service, maybe I'm looking for parts as well. So I just did another search and did where to get an oil change. So I need an oil change for my new Infiniti, $10 off any oil change, 10-minute oil change at take5.com. Open up Take 5, $10 off any oil change. Bring this coupon to your local Take 5. So you can get our $10 off coupon if we bring this coupon to our Take 5 oil change. So obviously, if we have an Infiniti, we probably want to bring it to the dealership to get service, but just showing some ad examples here. So next, let's see, I need a headrest TV. So I have kids, so I need a headrest TV screen for my car. So headrest TV screens for cars. So any of these that we click are going to bring us directly to this individual product page on those websites. I figured Amazon makes enough money. I can click on one of their ads and bring us right over here to Amazon.com directly to this page. So another example of a search engine marketing ad, and this is Amazon marketing directly in the Bing search results with a Microsoft product ad. So just another example of an advertisement, product ads here, coming back over here, and these are Microsoft search ads over here. So you also have some product ads for this as well. So an Edwards maintenance and oil change kit fits the Polaris Ranger XP900. Not sure if that's relevant, but coming over here to our headrest TV screens for cars, and we came to this page. Now, let's just say, okay, maybe I don't want to buy this. I already have a tablet. We'll just come over here to Amazon now. So now we're going over some Amazon sponsored product ads, a couple different Amazon ad formats here. But if we do headrest tablet holder, what you're going to see right here is a big advertisement at the very top. Very relevant advertisement, and this is exactly what I'm looking for. So you can see right here, if I click on this or click on this, it's going to open up a product page for these Amazon products. And you can see right here, this is sponsored, and that's for this big ad unit right here. Now we keep scrolling down. This is the same exact brand that was actually running the advertisement for the TV screen. So Fangor 10-inch, dual car DVD player, portable headrest. But if we come over here, this is just a holder, so it's obviously a lot cheaper. If I already have a tablet, I just want to put my tablet right on the back of the seat. So we'll click on this, open up the page, brings us directly to this product page where we can choose 1-pack, 2-pack. Maybe they have some different options here, it looks like. So different variations of products, but basically they are targeting this keyword, something related to headrest tablet holders, and they have the very first sponsored results here. One of the good things about Amazon is you can see this has a ton of reviews. So a lot of these products where they spend a lot of money on advertising, they also will get a lot of sales directly from just basically organic sales where people aren't clicking on these sponsored results. Okay, now let's come over here to Pinterest. So Pinterest, another example. So I did Farmhouse Kitchen. I think my page just reloaded. I had a couple good here we go, right? This is the example I wanted to show you. So fall sale up to 40% off on select tile designs. You can see right here we have a 3-light chandelier, metal crystal in yellow. So this one is being promoted by Wayfair. This one is being promoted by Doll Tile. So click on the Doll Tile ad, bring us here, up to 40% off tile. Enter our zip code here to find a retailer. So I'm assuming they're using location targeting and they likely have a retailer near me. So just some different examples of search engine marketing ads. Now, some people may not consider Pinterest a search engine marketing channel. It's really more of a social media channel. But out of all the different social media channels, it has one of the largest search engines, with really the only competitor being YouTube. Now, YouTube is technically the second largest search engine in the world after Google. However, when you look up search engine market share, generally YouTube doesn't show up on those lists the way that Google, Bing, and some of these other search engines do. However, you don't necessarily run your YouTube ads targeted to keywords. So when you see these different advertisements here at the top of YouTube, I'm searching WordPress, and I got 2 different ads here. WP Engine, which is WordPress hosting, and then we have Elementor, which is a WordPress website builder. So I clicked on the WP Engine advertisement here, click on Visit Site, and it performs the same way that a Google ad search ad would. So these are based on Google search ads, and they're going to use, if you're looking at some of these images here, you can use different assets to actually put together these advertisements when you are creating your Google Ads campaign. I went over that in my Google Ads tutorial, going over some different ways to make sure that you're creating the best possible advertisements. Now, let's just say we click on one of these videos here. I think I clicked on one of these, but if we click on the video and we look at this advertisement right here, top AI trends. So this advertisement actually looks like a Performance Max ad. So if we click on it and open it up, you're going to see it's going to bring me right here where they want me to enter my information and download my report for 2023 State of Data plus AI. So sometimes over here on the right-hand side, you'll see YouTube advertisements, and sometimes you will see advertisements that look like this one, and this looks like a Performance Max advertisement. So just going over some of the different search engine marketing ad platforms, some of the different search engine marketing ads that you can run. Now, if you're saying, well, where do I get started? Where should I start? I mean, looking at market share, I would just recommend Google. Google Ads has a great advertising platform. And one of the good things about Google is if you create a search ad in Google using Google Ads, you can actually import it directly to your Microsoft advertising account. So if you're running Microsoft advertising, you're running Google Ads, you could say, okay, I just spent hours and hours building this Google Ads campaign. I just want to import this campaign directly into my Microsoft advertising account. And now we can take advantage of basically both of these search engines and getting our ads on search engines like a Yahoo, getting our ads on DuckDuckGo, getting our ads on Google, getting our ads on Microsoft. So basically anywhere that people search, now we have our advertisements on there. So these are some of the top search engine marketing platforms and some of the different search engine marketing ads that you can run. Basically, there's not a ton of options because when you look at overall market share, if we come over here, you can see there's just not that many different channels. I would put YouTube and Amazon in here, but we went over how those ads are actually targeted and why they don't really show up as technically search engines because they don't search the entire internet. They're just searching their own platform. So Google Ads, these 3 right here are all going to be managed through Microsoft Advertising. Some of the other is within Microsoft Advertising. And then that's pretty much it when it comes to search engine marketing ads. So there's not that many search engines, not that many different opportunities. So when you go through, if you want to read my blog post, you can see some of the different ad formats you can run, some examples of what these advertisements are going to look like. And the reason these advertisements work so well is because if I go to Google or Bing or any search engine, I'm looking for a luxury SUV for 2023. Infinity sends me directly to a page with their different 2023 luxury SUVs so I can find exactly what I'm looking for. And if I start to search for something like rims for my SUV for 20-inch rims, you can see some of these different options we have here. And also, tire rack. This is probably going to send me to a landing page, hopefully with 20-inch rims. Shop 20-inch rims for trucks today. Huge in-stock inventory. And then over here. So we have 4 different search ads here. So now people may ask, okay, what's the difference between search engine marketing and search engine optimization? This is search engine optimization. So this page right here has the very top results for this keyword. That is search engine optimization. If we look at luxury SUV for 2023 and we see who has carandriver.com, best midsize luxury SUVs for 2023 and 2024. US News and World Report has the second result. So these are search engine optimization. Any type of advertisement you see in a search engine is considered search engine marketing. So that's the difference between SEM and SEO. And these are all the major SEM ads that you can run and major SEM platforms that you can try. Now, if I missed anything, please let me know in the comments section. I don't really consider many other ad types to be search engine marketing. I know there are some other international search engines. I truthfully don't have enough experience with them to give you any information about any international search engines, to be honest. So basically, I've used Google my entire life. I've used Bing sometimes, but basically run Bing ads / Microsoft advertising. So that's the only reason why I know that search engine much at all. So to finish off this video, I'm going to be going through some different search engine marketing basics. So there's 9 basics that I'm going to go through, just some overview things that you need to know as you build your search engine marketing strategy. So let's get into the final portion of this video. Today, I'll be going over 9 basics of search engine marketing. So to get started, I want to go over the difference between search engine marketing and search engine optimization. So anywhere that you see a sponsored message or an advertisement in any of the large search engines like Google or Bing or Yahoo, that would be search engine marketing. So search engine marketing refers to the paid results on the search engine results pages. So for a keyword like coastal area rugs, if I target that with my Google Ads campaign, and then I have my advertisement showing for coastal area rugs, that would be an example of search engine marketing. Now, search engine optimization, you can see I am targeting this keyword with my website, beachfrontdecor.com. This refers to search engine optimization. So you'll see coastal area rugs here. So very, very competitive keyword, but this would refer to search engine optimization. So if you're looking at Rugs Direct, this would be an SEM listing. And this would be an SEO listing because this is the first result for the organic search results. This is the first result for the search advertising. And then you have shopping ads up here as well, which would be an example of search engine marketing. So to get started, the very first basic of search engine marketing, and you'll see this as soon as you create your first campaign, is what is your campaign objective? So your first one is choose your objective. You'll see right here, Google Ads does a great job of showing all the different objectives you can basically have for any type of advertising campaign you're running. Generally, you want to focus on sales or leads for your business, depending on what type of business you have, but you may have an objective of product and brand consideration, brand awareness and reach, product awareness. So if you're trying to launch a new product and maybe what you're trying to do is educate people, then maybe your objective would fall into product and brand consideration or brand awareness and reach. There's app promotion, there are local store visits, so you need to have one objective with a campaign. You can't be doing branding and trying to drive sales at the same time because that would mean that you're trying to focus on your impressions and CPM in terms of branding and maybe overall engagements, whereas for sales, you're trying to drive conversions and trying to maximize your return on ad spend. So the very first basic is choose your campaign objective. Okay, coming back here, the next basic is choosing your search engine marketing channel. Now, there's not that many channels to choose from because there's not that many large search engines. Google has such a large search engine market share that there's really not that many competitors. But when you're looking at some of the different channels, I'm just going to look at some different advertising examples here. First and foremost, we already went over Google. So Google Ads is the largest search engine marketing channel. It is the one you should start with if you're not running ads anywhere because they give you basically the most tools and the largest volume in terms of the people that actually use the Google search engine. So Google Ads is number 1. Number 2 would be Microsoft Bing Ads. So formerly called Bing Ads, now called Microsoft Advertising. A lot of people still call it Bing Ads, but you'll see right here, this is an advertisement. So when somebody searches keywords in Bing Ads, you'll see very similar advertisements to Google, both in the shopping ads and the search ads at the very top of the search results. You can actually import your campaigns directly from your Google Ads account into your Microsoft Advertising account. So They perform very, very similarly, and if you are running Google ads and you're looking for more search volume, you should start running Bing ads or Microsoft advertising as well. Third is going to be Amazon advertising. So obviously Amazon, a very large search engine as well. So when somebody's searching for specific keywords, you can actually have targeted advertisements directly to your Amazon products. So this is another option as far as search engine marketing. Last but not least, Pinterest ads, still a search engine marketing channel. You'll see when you search coastal area rugs here, one of the ones right here at the top, again, Wayfair. So I wanted to use the example of Wayfair because they basically run ads across every single channel they possibly can. But if you have coastal area rugs here, you'll see some different promoted options, and they're generally going to be pretty targeted to whatever keywords you enter. So even right here, the right rug, the right size, promoted by this Ernesta company here. So if we go into it, looks like a coastal area rug, looks like the coast in the background. So a good advertisement here. I would say this would be a coastal area rug, so another good advertisement here. So number 2, basic, choose your SEM channel. Okay, number 3, basic, is coming into here is setting your budget. So it's very easy to actually set your budget with search engine marketing campaigns, and every single channel is going to be very similar like this, where you can adjust your daily budget very easily. There are monthly spending controls, but if you look at a budget like this for something like Google Ads, generally what you want to do is take your budget, multiply it by 30, and that's about what you're going to spend throughout the course of a month. So if I take a $30 per day budget, that means over the course of a month, you'll see right here when you scroll over, you won't be charged more than $912 for this campaign. So the exact number that you're supposed to multiply is 30 times 30.4. But if you do just 30 times 30, around $900 is what you should plan to spend for this campaign. But there are also a lot of different settings that allow you to set strict budgets so that you don't go over your budget. And if you do go to increase your budget drastically, generally Google Ads will say, are you sure you want to increase your budget that much? So basic number 3 of search engine marketing, setting your budgets and making sure that you are spending exactly what you want to spend on advertising campaigns. Basic number 4 is creating your landing pages. So even before you launch your campaign, you should have your landing pages ready because you need to be driving traffic to specific pages on your website. This is, I know I'm saying this is a basic of search engine marketing, but it is pretty complex creating landing pages and testing your landing pages. I always show the Geico landing page because it's very simple. So basically come in here, enter your zip code, choose what types of insurance you're looking for. You can view more insurance types and basically start my quote. So they have one call to action here, start my quote, and basically just give us a little bit of information and we will get you started with your insurance. Now I clicked on the advertisement for Wayfair right here for coastal area rugs. So when we go in, what you're going to see is a landing page, coastal area rugs. So exactly what you're looking for. At the very top, they have some different featured products up here, but as we scroll down, some coastal themed area rugs. The left-hand side, people can easily look for exactly what they want by using Wayfair. So probably Wayfair has some pretty strong conversion rates because when you do click through to their landing pages, they generally have some very targeted Google Ads campaigns. So basic number 4, creating landing pages for your campaign, making sure your landing pages line up with the actual keywords that you're targeting. As you can see here for Wayfair, they have a perfect example of this, and for Geico, they are targeting insurance keywords. So if somebody's looking for auto insurance, they come right to this landing page, and they probably have different landing pages for some of the different services they have as well. So they may just have one for auto insurance, and then maybe they have motorcycle, boat, and put some of the other relevant insurance options there for somebody who may be looking for auto insurance. So creating landing pages is basic number 4, making sure you test landing pages and create landing pages that actually solve the problems your customers are searching for. Basic number 5, as we come back over here to Google Ads, if we go to tools and settings up here, conversion tracking. So under tools and settings, if you click on conversions, you should always be using conversion tracking for your key performance indicators. So in my case, for my website, now I haven't ran a campaign recently, but I track affiliate clicks. So these are outbound clicks on my website that go to affiliate offers. So basically every time someone clicks on one of these different affiliate links on my website, I count that as a conversion. Now, this isn't very profitable for me on a click-by-click basis, which is why I don't run a lot of Google Ads for Beachfront Decor. It is strictly an affiliate marketing website. So to give you a better example, Geico probably has conversion tracking set up for each step in this process. Once somebody clicks start my quote, they give the information. That is probably the very first thing that they are tracking. So that would be considered a conversion when somebody clicks on start my quote. And then they also probably have conversion tracking set up for when somebody actually becomes a customer. So the way you can do that is basically just by tracking each individual page on your website. So if I click on Start My Quote, for example, and Geico just has a page on their website for Start My Quote, then what they could do is after I click Start My Quote, I get sent to this page, and maybe there's some more information on this page for getting my quote ready, but every time somebody hits this page, Geico can count that as a conversion. So it basically shows that somebody went from and clicked this button and went to a new page. You can also track individual button clicks. Now, I have videos on my channel for how to set up conversion tracking, so I will link them in the video description, but very easy process to set up conversion tracking for your key performance indicators. And you want to make sure you set up your conversion actions here. And then when you actually create your campaigns, so if I click on a new campaign here, so mine generally fall in the leads category. You'll see the conversion goal right here. You want to optimize your campaigns for those conversion goals. Again, even before you launch a campaign, you should set up your landing pages. You should set up your conversion goals. So that is basic number 5, is set up conversion tracking, optimize your campaigns for conversions. Number 6 is to target keywords. So the one thing I want to show you here is if we look at coastal area rugs, so Rugs Direct here and Wayfair are likely just targeting the keyword coastal area rugs. There are 3 different keyword match types through Google: broad match, phrase match, and exact match. Basically, broad gives you access to more volume, less relevancy. Exact match gives you access to less volume, more relevancy. And phrase match is basically somewhere in the middle. Now, what you're going to see here is for coastal area rugs, the very top, based on the information from Keyword Surfer, gets about 2,400 average monthly searches. The average cost per click for Google Ads campaigns is $3.59. So when you target keywords and people click on your advertisements, you are going to pay every time someone clicks on that ad. I just clicked on the Wayfair ad, so they likely paid for that click. Well, they definitely paid for that click as soon as I made it. Now, up here at the top, your product ads are actually targeted based on your product feed. So your feed is uploaded through the Google Merchant Center, and then that is how those ads are targeted. So based on your product descriptions, product titles, product categories, all the information that Google basically has will help target those advertisements. So targeting keywords, if we come in here to our search campaign, and you'll see some of the different ad groups we created. So you want to create very organized ad groups based on themes and basically where you're sending your traffic for your landing page. So for this mermaid bedding ad group, you can see I'm targeting comforters, quilts, bedding, and duvet covers. These are phrase match keywords. My advertisements are all geared towards mermaid bedding. Click on it and it's going to go to a landing page with mermaid bedding on it. Now, when you do go to your keywords and you click to add new keywords through Google Ads, you can use, or your Google Ads campaign, you can use the built-in keyword planner here where you can enter a related website, you can enter your product or service. So let's just say I do beach nightstands, for example. So they'll give us some different keywords here that we can also target within our ad group. So you can easily do keyword research directly from Google Ads, or if you go to Tools and Settings under Planning, you can open up the Keyword Planner. I have some detailed Keyword Planner tutorials. I will link them in the video description as well, along with my Google Ads Keyword Research tutorial, so you can learn how to do keyword research effectively. But that is our next basic, is targeting keywords and making sure you're doing effective keyword research. Okay, basic number 7. So coming back over here to our ads and our assets. So your advertisements, so number 7 will be creating advertisements. What you want to do is create multiple advertisements in each ad group so you can actually test them against each other. Now, with responsive search ads, if we click here, what you can see is Google Ads allows you to create responsive search ads that have 15 headlines, they have 4 description lines, and basically Google is going to test all of these different ad variations. So if we just click over, you can see all the different ad variations they can create based on one responsive search ad. But you want to create advertisements, send people to targeted landing pages. So if we look here, you can see they go to the mermaid bedding sets page on my website. The display path features mermaid bedding. My ad strength is excellent. So you want to create excellent advertisements that are geared towards the actual keywords that you're targeting, and you want to send traffic to a relevant final URL. If you look here at my responsive search ad, you can see some of my headlines. So bedding, duvet covers, comforters, quilts. Then you start kind of expanding a little bit. Beach bedding sets, high quality products, browse our inventory, quick delivery, official website, 100 plus mermaid bedding sets. So what Google is going to do is basically test all of these different ad variations. Now, why you want to create multiple advertisements in each ad group. So for my mermaid bedding ad group here, what you want to do is you can create the same exact advertisement and actually test landing pages, or you create one advertisement and then create a separate advertisement and just try different offers, try different selling points for your website. Maybe in one you focus on a actual promotion. Maybe in one you focus on free shipping over a certain order percentage. Maybe you focus on the different types of products you have and just focus on really selling your products in one ad, selling the promotion in the other ad, see what resonates more and drives more conversion. So creating advertisement is our best practice number 7. Now, best practice number 8 and 9 are going to go hand in hand. So one of the things that you want to do when you launch your campaign is you want to actually allow your campaign to get a little bit of activity for, I always say, at least a week. So one of the things you can do is, let's just say you do want to spend $30 a day. When you launch your campaign, maybe what you want to do is just budget $15 per day. So spend a little bit less, do a little bit of testing for about a week, and then see how your campaign is performing after a week. So when we go into our search campaign here, and I will be creating a search campaign and running a search campaign and showing some optimization strategies as we continue this series. But what you're going to see is you want to allow some of these different ad groups to run. For this campaign, I'm going to end up creating over 100 different ad groups because I have so many different landing pages where I can send traffic. So what you want to do is allow your campaign to test for a little bit. We have a target CPA for this campaign for $2. So basically every affiliate click on my website, I want to pay $2 or less for every single affiliate click. So what I'm trying to do is run a bunch of different ad groups, trying to drive really, really low cost traffic to my website that is relevant and targeted so I can drive as many conversions as possible. The thing is, I don't even know what's going to work yet for this campaign. So launching your campaign, even if you start with a small test budget, say, let's spend $150, $200. Then what you do after that is you look at your overall results for your campaign, you make sure you're getting enough activity in some of your different ad groups, and then continue spending more and more money. If you have a much larger budget, then start with a much larger test budget. Maybe you can start with a $150 test budget. You'll see large increase, save twice to confirm. So if you ever increase your budget too much, Google Ads will make you save it twice. Your budget really depends on what you initially want to spend and then how much you're willing to test to see, okay, let's see how well this campaign is going to perform for a week or two. And then what we'll do is we'll kind of reevaluate the overall results. Maybe we'll test different advertisements again. So this is why I like creating multiple advertisements. We can test our ads, we can test our landing pages. Then our best practice, or our basic number 9, basically both these are best practices and basics, is basically optimize and maximize your return on ad spend. So the way to optimize is to test everything. Test ads, create ad group level assets. So what you can do is create site link assets at the ad group level. These were formerly called extensions. But creating site link and call out assets at the ad group level can help you create really, really relevant advertisements. Same with structured snippets. You can also incorporate some of these other assets as well. So if you're trying to drive leads, you can use lead forms. You could try to incorporate prices, add a promotion to your advertisements. So your business logo, your business name, you can add to your advertisements. And then you can also add the ability for people to call your business directly if you accept phone calls. So test different assets based on what your business actually offers and what your goals are for your business. Test different landing pages for each of your different ad groups. So if we come in here to my ad groups, let's say I'm sending people to my mermaid bedding sets page. Maybe what I can do is say, okay, let's create a brand new landing page that looks similar to our current mermaid bedding landing page. And let's see if this landing page performs better than the other. Also look at your existing landing pages and make sure that they're very easy to use for customers. So for Geico, what they can do is create a landing page like this one. And maybe what they want to do is create a very, very short landing page that just at the very top is enter your 5-digit zip code, enter, and maybe just put start my quote. So something very simple. And then what they want to do is track over time. Okay, we spent $10,000 on this landing page, $10,000 on this landing page, $10,000 on this landing page, and landing page 3 won the result. So that's the one that we're going to continue working with. And then we'll add a new test landing page into the mix. So over here with Wayfair, you can see they have a good landing page because it's exactly the keyword that I searched. Over on the left-hand side, I can easily look through, okay, I'm looking for a 10 by 14 rug. I want it to be a coastal style, and I want the color to be, let's just say, blue. Okay, so then I can get the exact products that I'm looking for very quickly. So this is a good landing page because people can easily look through exactly what they want to find by looking at some of these things on the left-hand side. This is something I wish my website was better with, but obviously Wayfair is a little bit of a bigger team and a bigger budget than I do. So those are the 9 basics of search engine marketing. About to say Google Ads. Google Ads is the largest search engine marketing channel. The main 4 search engine marketing channels So Google ads, so we've gone over our Google ads here. If you look at coastal area rugs, see Wayfair has shopping ads running. Wayfair has search ads running in Google. If we look at Microsoft, so Google Coastal or Bing, but you'll see Wayfair a search ad for coastal area rugs, and then they also have shopping ads for coastal area rugs as well. So Wayfair is pretty much across all these channels, including Pinterest. Coastal area rugs you'll see promoted by Wayfair. So they do a great job with their search engine marketing strategy. It helps to have a big budget. They also, Wayfair just consistently loses money. So they advertise a ton to get a large customer base, I think hopefully to be profitable one day. Amazon advertising, another option here. So you can also target keywords with Amazon advertising and helps you create really effective ads. And when you go through the search results page of Amazon, you'll see the advertisements blend in pretty well because as you scroll down, see there's some more sponsored here. So the sponsored ones look very similar, and sometimes they are very similar to the organic listings on Amazon advertising as well. But those are 9 basics of search engine marketing. If you have any questions about any of this, please leave them in the comment section. Thanks for watching my video today, and make sure you subscribe to the Surfside PPC YouTube channel. Thank you for watching this video. I know I didn't go over shopping ads in this particular video, but I am going to create a separate video going over how to create actual advertisements if you're running an e-commerce company and some search engine marketing best practices for e-commerce. So hopefully this video has been helpful, and I appreciate all of your support as I run the Surfside PPC YouTube channel.